The rise of cricket was celebrated across the country. Now, with big wickets and even bigger hits, the stars of minor league cricket are back and better than ever.
Primus goes huge!
Don't miss the nation's largest league competing for the biggest prize in American cricket. The Toyota Minor League Championship returns this summer, live on Willow TV.
A very special hello and welcome to day number 2, live from Woodley Park, Los Angeles, of the 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. What an eventful day number 1 we had, not only at Woodley Park, but across the tournament, where we saw several teams picking up wins. Today, it's all about the important clash for the SoCal Lashings, still looking for their first win against the defending champions, the Silicon Valley Strikers, who already are 1 on the board. Zubin Sakari, the former international players alongside me. Zubin, what a fantastic day 1 we had. What were your overall thoughts of it?
Well, with all the excitement that's gone on, I've managed to lose my voice, but I'm looking again forward to a fantastic day here at Woodley Park.
But that's just how exciting the action was. We saw so many blockbuster performances from many individuals. 10 half-centuries scored so far already in the minor league. It's been an absolute runs fest, and even on this surface at Woodley Park, we did see some interesting things happen. The surface was a bit dicey, it was a bit too paced, but still, we saw 2 teams get to 180 batting first. We had the toss early on with the captains, Abhimanyu Rajit and Unmuk Chand. Of course, the toss so important. The coin spun by Rajit and the right call was made from Chand, the captain of the Strikers, who won the toss and elected to bat first. No surprises after his team was able to put up a mammoth 180 on the board. Of course, Unmuk Chand himself was ever so impressive with his individual 94 from 65 deliveries not out, and he'll be looking to continue that. For the Strikers, well, they've got the same team as yesterday. You don't change a winning formula, and as you can see, Chand will set the tone up top. Sorbna Chavalkar was excellent with his 5 wickets as well, and they'll be looking to continue right where they left off, looking to win their 2nd game of this tournament. For the SoCal Lashings, well, they've made a couple changes to their lineup after yesterday's defeat, which was actually a narrow one by just 18 runs against the Grizzlies. We saw Katani Clark. He was ever impressive with his 99. Heartbreak for him that he couldn't get to the 100. But they've got 2 changes. Harman Sandair has come in for Zaid Tariq, and Gian Fernando, the all-rounder from Sri Lanka, replaces Ripal Patel, looking to bolster the attack with a bit more experience. Well, what a fantastic game this should be. The Lashings yesterday really put up a good fight against the Grizzlies, who come into this tournament as one of the major favorites, but they took it really close, and that was all because of the individual brilliance of Katani Clark. This man on screen, Elmore Hutchinson, you think he will be very important with his all-round ability. 15 runs conceded only in his 3 overs. Some reason didn't bowl his full quota, but he'll be looking to be a bit more aggressive and look to especially make use with the bat in hand. Zubin, really should be an exciting day of cricket. I think the conditions suit batting first. I had a look at the surface. Definitely a lot drier as opposed to the early morning moisture we saw, and we've had a day of cricket. How could that affect it?
Certainly, I think, you know, just looking at it visually, it looks fantastic again, nice and flat. I'm hoping that Elmore gets 4 overs like you mentioned, but you know, Unmuk's in good form and building off from yesterday's innings.
Yeah, spot on. Zubin Sakari, of course, the former international cricketer. Such a pleasure for me alone, you know, to sit alongside you, Zubin, a man with your experience, you know, playing in the World Cup, you know, at the under-19 level, and so many other international games, the opposition that you played. I think you provided such fantastic analysis yesterday, and looking forward to it again today. It's the first ball of the day. Left outside the off stump. Arch Butch and Unmuk Chand, the 2 openers for the Silicon Valley Strikers. We saw Butch struggle, especially against the spin yesterday. Only 2 for him, but he'll be looking to make wrong things right today with a fresh challenge.
Yeah, 2 days and 2 games in 2 days, and hopefully he's managed to assess the conditions really well. Just try to put himself out there and get on. He has a capable, obviously the capable partnership in the back with Unmuk, so I think he'll be at ease. He's not going to feel the pressure of getting on it.
Fired in at the body. They'll get their first runs, the Silicon Valley Strikers. Interesting decision to win the toss and bat first. We saw yesterday they were actually sent in by the Hollywood Master Blasters on what was a really dicey surface. They only got to 65 in the first 10, but as it dried out, as the surface got better, 125 runs scored from the final 10 overs. It's a thing that the strikers do so well. They're able to build a platform and then really launch with the power that they have in the lower order.
Yeah, I think that it's a good move on their part. Set the tone. They batted well in the first innings. Like you said, they had a nice partnership at the end just to kind of bring it home and put them over that 180 mark.
So Unmuk Chan will face his first delivery. What a fantastic day we had in this tournament in day one. We've already even had so many great performances in the early session of day two. You can see two outside the circle. Third man. There's also a slip in place. Gonna have to rebowl that one. The officials, Vijay Malila and Bendula Matiarachi. Hutchinson was puzzling yesterday, Zubin, that he didn't complete his full quota. He went for 6 runs inside the power play against a very aggressive opening partnership for the Grizzlies. And then just seemed like a big miscalculation on the part of the captain that he didn't bowl his full quota. And in the end, those small things could cost you the game when you only lose by 18 runs. All those things will be ways that the Lashings can learn. Well, let's hope they come better today. Well, gets bad on that, Unmuk Chan, and he'll get it over the infield. It's going to be the first boundary, will it? No. Yes, it will. Just rolls into the boundary. Unmuk Chan getting the bat on it over point and opening his account. 94 not out yesterday, and nothing really different.
No, he's back on it again. Loose delivery, I think, from Elmore, and just pounced on it early. There's not much room. I think this, like we said, the wicket looks fairly good. Elmore's needs to get it a bit right here.
Well, he had that feed at third man, but it was just way too wide. Unmuk Chan could position it anywhere he wanted in the offside. Once he got the elevation over the infield, he knew that it would be a boundary. So Chan, 94 not out in just 65 deliveries, 65 deliveries, I beg your pardon. Should come back for another easy 2. What was so important about the way he constructed that innings?
Well, the fact that he was at a run of ball probably to his 30 run mark, and then, like you said, to get 94 off 60 means pretty impressive to go. Not going to do the calculation, but amazing that he's been able to accelerate. I think 5 sixes he hit in his innings.
Yeah, that's something that I find so interesting. You know, many people think about the modern day game, especially in the power play with 2 fielders out. You think you have to get off to those flying starts. But Unmuk Chan has shown you he was 29. I remember it distinctly, Zubin, 29 in 31 balls. Then really accelerated because he had Shehan Jayasuriya, who came in and got a run ball, 26. Roshan Primus, who finished the innings off with a flurry of maximums. Because he had others at the other end scoring, it allowed him to just free up, and then in the 15th over, really unleashed his power brute force. Been massively impressed with what I've seen from Unmuk Chan. Remember, the leading run scorer overall in the tournament in 2021, and nothing has changed. Such a quality player. Former Indian under-19 captain, of course. Yeah, that's much better in terms of the line. You have that slip in place, Elmore Hutchinson. You want to bring it in to play. End of the first over. Pretty eventful one. 8 for none. Just 8 after the first over. It's going to be seen from both ends. And the Lashings will be looking to pick up early wickets. It's something that they struggled with. Didn't take a wicket in the power play yesterday, and it may have costed them. So you want to get early wickets. You want to break in to the, especially of this Silicon Strikers lineup. It's going to be Sandu, who was very expensive yesterday, but he bowled some wicket-taking deliveries. Just had to pounce a bit more, be a bit more clinical in the field, pounce on their chances. How brilliant was that man, though, on the center of your screen? Kateni Clark, 99. Can't wait to watch him bat again. How does he follow up a performance like that?
With 100.
Well, that would be the goal. Good start as well. I want to talk about this move, though, to open the batting with Arch Butch. He's at the non-strikers end now. Zubin, it's an interesting one because the Silicon Valley strike batting last year with Chan and Rahul Jariwala. And it was a fruitful opening partnership for them. When you look at what they were able to do, even in the finals weekend, Jariwala got them off to a fantastic start. He just made his USA international debut, but all of a sudden, they've gone with Bush.
Yeah, I'm not sure the thought process behind it. Obviously, there's maybe some think tank, within the group has decided what they want to do. He looks a composed player as well. I haven't seen him too much, but Rahul's going to obviously feature in their lineup at some point.
I like this, though. I like the plan early on to Unmuk Chan. You want to keep him quiet. They've looked to hit a good length. Anything full. I watched some highlights of that 94 he scored yesterday. Everything. He's so strong through extra cover. So, as a bowling unit, you want to make sure that you're sticking to your plans and be able to hit that good length. But what a performance from this man. Unmuk Chan continuing in the same vein as 2021. Again, keeping him very quiet.
Yeah, I just think it's a really nice, the batting lineup that they have, which they have obviously Unmuk at the top, who can play that kind of anchor role, and then he can also accelerate. But then he has Primus that's coming in. It just has a good balance in their lineup to allow them to even bat a little bit slower if the conditions, like we saw yesterday, and then clearly accelerate later on.
Sandu's a very good start. Just 1 run conceded after the first 3 deliveries. Oh yes, drives that one well, but straight to cover. Yeah, Chan, I think because of that solid top hand he has so high on the bat, it allows him anything through extra cover. He's able to pounce on the length so easily, especially in the power play. Extra cover, one of the hardest regions to pick, Zubin, as you would know from your days of playing.
Yeah, he's that ball there, he's just length on it. I think they left him a little bit just at the end, just tailed away, and he was able to just keep his health. He does a lot of one-hand drills. I was working with him in Houston earlier, and it's just good to see how much strength he had in both hands. He's really working on it.
Just getting him to flash outside the off stump. Yeah, one thing that Unmuk Chan I found very interesting, he spoke to me in the post-match presentation yesterday where he was the Toyota Tundra man of the match. But he mentioned the difficulty in the surface and the fact that they had that clear plan that he would be the man to bat through. I think it's a blueprint that they've set up throughout this tournament. In terms of 2021, it worked for them. Chan came in a bit later on, but once he did, they were happy to go to that model. And clearly yesterday on a tough surface, it allows them the flexibility to be able to have those big totals, even on dicey surfaces, sent into bat first.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think he's a perfect, for conditions that are slightly challenging, he's able to just kind of gear down. You can see him leaving balls, even in a T20, he's leaving balls, which is fine on a surface that's doing a little bit. But as you saw yesterday, he kind of laid the platform for guys to come in and hit it.
Yeah, getting that hint of away movement to Unmuk Chan. A really good second over, though, for the Lashings. This is a good bowling performance to start. 9 for none. Well, cut this one. Just again, too much width on offer. And Arch Butch hasn't really middled many deliveries in his short stint in this 2022 campaign, but he's got that one out the middle of the bat.
Yeah, he's really latched onto that, and that's nice to see. He's always been a little conservative and hasn't been able to free his arms. He's got the opportunity. He's pounced on. I think he'll be much refreshed after yesterday's innings. He's just got to get off to a little bit of a start here.
Yeah, it was just too short from Hutchinson. Yesterday, he found his length very early. Today, he struggled with that rhythm. Never easy, especially bowling the first over of the day. Went for 8 runs, then under pressure to start his second over. So the Toyota 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, of course, presented by Sunoco. Yesterday I went home, Zubin, had to go on Dafa News, and I saw him, Unmuk Chan, on the cover of the website. They're posting the latest cricketing news. You don't want to miss it. Did you have a read? Did you have a read?
Yeah, I had a little bit of read. Of course, I'm seeing Moonbuck everywhere these days. But, and no doubt that he's a fantastic ambassador for us.
Well, again, driven through cover, work to be done by the fielder. He's going to have to run and get it, but he does. It's a quick outfield. Gets back for 2. Arch Butch definitely looks in much more nick today as opposed to yesterday. Seemed to have acclimatized quickly. But Wells, we have, you know, this time Zubin with Unmuk Chan in the middle. You look at Unmuk Chan, Rakeem Cornwall, who got 93 from, what was it, 41 deliveries, 41 deliveries, correction, this morning against the Orlando Galaxy. Wow. To have these former and current international players competing in this minor league really does a tremendous thing in terms of the exposure of the tournament. Well, again, bat on it, and the third man has got some work to do. Does a fantastic job at the boundary to keep that in. And it's just come back for 2.
Yeah, I think having the quality of players that is around the park, you know, we've seen, you know, just the ability for the local talent to now play with some of the players from outside to have the experience. I think it's a huge benefit. Well fielded down at the boundary there. Excellent effort. Certainly saved 2 runs. Top effort.
Yes, Harpreet Singh down at third man. Boy, did he do well to make that ground, and then with the ball traveling quickly. It's a very fast outfield here at Woodley Park. Down the leg side again, another extra. Did see extras be a problem, but you look at the list, Zubin, of some of those that have done really well in the tournament to start. We mentioned Cornwall getting to 50. Aaron Jones, another international player playing for the USA. And others, you know, Usman Ashraf getting some runs. It's been really fantastic to see. Of course, we saw yesterday Sami Aslam, Katani Clark. All these players come from different parts of the world in one central location in the United States. The exposure that they're bringing to this tournament, but also the increase in quality we've had, truly has been fantastic.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think as the facilities start getting better, as we're seeing more of the, you know, the turf grounds that are getting put in and being played on, we're going to see the scores and the standard of the cricket going up. It's great to see the names that you listed are the guys that we're looking at to score the bulk of the runs, and they're actually doing it. It'd be nice to see a few of the under-19s getting it. I think I saw somebody from Houston Hurricanes yesterday scored 95 not out as an under-19 player. These are for us.
Yeah, Munib Riyasat, the opener from the Houston Hurricanes, was who got 95. Struck it at 161, but the Hurricanes lost that game against the Mustangs, one of the stronger teams, the Dallas Mustangs. Think about some serious firepower in that Mustangs team with the likes of Corey Anderson, Sujit Gowda, and others. We'll get back to that in the next over. End of 3. The score, 18 for none.
Out of the pitch, guys. Guys. Keep going, boys. Keep going, boys. Lovely start. Lovely start.
Although they haven't taken a wicket, the SoCal Lashings, they'll still be pretty happy with this start, keeping it to a runner ball in the first 3 overs of this power play. Well, this time, through point, it was in the air. She down to cover, but this just falls short of the man. They've tried to block up that scoring region for Unmuk Chan, knowing that he's so prolific through extra cover to that cover region. But this man is just so meticulous in his placement, able to find that extra cover boundary. I don't know how he does it going inside out so consistently. Something I see a lot of Aaron Jones as well, the Atlanta Fire batter in this tournament. Of course, the USA number 3 across the 2 white balls formats. Butch will get off. Strike, no, he won't. Sent back by Chan. But the complexity to find that region through extra cover, one of the hardest shots in the book, I think, with the on drive.
Yeah, you need to absolutely be a bit stable at the crease. You know, we talked about yesterday how much power you can generate if you're stable and strong at the crease. Your hands coming through, but again, it's just laps, as you say. You know, just hitting balls all the time and perfecting your craft.
Again, another quick delivery into the body of Butch. Is a decent ask, but definitely going down the leg side. Let's hope that the strikers, after yesterday's win, didn't fill up too much on the spices. You know, of course, Lakshmi, the House of Spices, their official sponsor, want to make sure that they're fit and ready to go again for day 2, because cricket is such a funny game, Zubin, where you'll win a game as comprehensively as they did yesterday in that manner, but you'll come today and it'll be a completely different challenge. As you can see, the Lashings have start, and all of a sudden it's a clean slate. Well, listen to the sound off the bat. As soon as he hit it, he didn't move. Unmuk Chan, this guy, you have to dismiss him early or he'll make you pay.
That's a fantastic shot. And what we spoke about, just having in good positions, have a look at his feet and where they are. Just nice and balanced, and just let his hands hit through the ball.
Just look at this, easy on the eye. Oh, hold that pose, Unmuk Chan. The Dafa News photographers are right there. They're watching you. 94 yards on the way again today.
I think he's looking even better than yesterday.
Yeah,
just seems composed, leaving the ball when he needs to, and anything slightly scoring option, he's getting onto it.
Again, flicks this one this time. Corrected the line, but wants to. Gonna have to hurry. Unmuk Chan gets there quite comfortably in the end. So fantastic at running between the wickets. Such a menacing player to bowl at for oppositions throughout this tournament. I think it's because of the price he puts on his wicket, Zuin. So tough to dismiss.
Yeah, like anything he has, you know, he's trying to score runs, and he's going to try to take every opportunity to do that, whether that means running hard between the wickets, or being able to just kind of battle it out. He's not going to give his wicket away. He puts a lot of pride on it.
Oh, again, in the same region, second time in the over, carbon copy from Chan, and his consecutive boundaries in the over. This is turning out to be a good one for the Silicon Valley Strikers.
Once again, just throwing the hands at it, and rightfully so.
So that will end the over. And just have a look at the replay first to see more width on offer. And once he gets it past that point fielder, there's no chance of stopping it from going to the boundary. End of 4, 30 for none.
Bowler change. Batsman, bowler change.
He's not hearing you. He's not hearing
Right now, Mo.
I can hear him. I got you.
The 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco, day number 2. Fantastic conditions, picturesque day at Woodley Park, Los Angeles. If you're joining us, well, you've come at the right time. The Silicon Valley Strikers well poised to launch and it's going to be a change in bowling for the SoCal Lashings. Of course, the team from Southern California. Elmore Hutchinson, who bowled the first 2 overs, out the attack. Gian Fernando continuing. It goes short early on. Fernando brought in today for the first time in this minor league tournament, clearly looking to bolster that seam attack, which was expensive yesterday.
Yeah, and right from the go, he looks a little bit heavier in the ball. He's just bowling at the back of a length area. He's got a bit more pace, I think.
But he's an important player for the Lashings. You look at the experience he brings, 13 first-class matches. He's taken 27 wickets back in Sri Lanka. This one, oh, it's going to be more runs. Just clipped off the pad from Butch. He's done well to support Umuk Chan so far, Arch Butch. But Fernando, I think, when you look at last season, took some time to acclimatize. Only the 8 wickets coming in the 2021 season. They need more from him, more production, more results, given the fact that they've brought him in as one of their bigger players, one of their marquee players for this season.
Yeah, in a tournament like this, you certainly need your top players to be performing.
Butch has taken a bit of time to get in, but as the Silicon Valley Strikers showed, they're sort of going against the mold of T20 cricket in the modern day. So often we see teams trying to get to 50 and 60 in the first 6 overs. The Strikers, I think, prefer to just make sure they have wickets intact, and then they know that they have the power to clear any ground regardless of any fielding restrictions. That's been the model that they've gone to pretty much throughout 2021 and then to start this season. Yeah, they've clearly gone at the body of Arch Butch. It's actually been good bowling. Even though, yes, they haven't taken a wicket, I've been very impressed with the planning from the Lashings thus far.
Yeah, they seem to be sticking to it pretty well. Butch just can't seem to get it. It looks like he wants to have a bit of a run. The little front foot comes down a bit. Just needs to get bat on it. Rotate the strike, get Umuk on.
I think what's enticing the Lashings to go to that plan is in terms of how far across the off stump he's coming, Arch Butch. Well, he goes for it this time. That's a release shot, and he'll get the release. I think it goes all the way for a maximum. It does. So the first 6 in the tournament for Butch, and they needed that, the Strikers, just to get some of that pressure off.
That's nicely picked up. Nicely picked up, just a length ball.
Yeah, I think he went away from what was working for him, Gian Fernando. Just went a bit too short. I had liked the plan full at the body. Tried it again, may have just missed his length. And Butch, that will do his confidence a world of good. Gonna get a single here. This is good batting from the Strikers.
Nice cricket there. Just a nice 6.
So with that maximum, a good over in the end for the Lashings. They get 9 from it. 9 for none.
My son, he's so soft-spoken. Everyone says he's so good-looking, and he never forgets to call.
Hi, Mom.
Born for your true self. The 2022 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
Of course, special thanks to Sunoco, our presenting sponsor of this year's 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. Couldn't be possible without our friends at Sunoco. Had a great ride to the ground in a Sunoco rental, Zubin. A Toyota, actually. Good to see our sponsors working together.
Yeah, why not? They make fantastic cars.
What I mentioned yesterday, think of a Toyota Tundra, you think about Rakeem Cornwall. I think about brute force power, Roshan Primus, who's still to come for the Strikers team. He'll be in action soon. But just squeezes it past point. This is going to be more runs. Could be 4 of them as well for the Strikers. It is. So Butch now growing in confidence, growing in comfort in this innings.
Yeah, and his partner, Umuk, like that. Puts a little bit of takes a little pressure off him to score, and allows a partnership to keep building.
Just see there, opened the face and just rode it past the man at point. Really should have done better. The thing is, that's what his teammates were disappointed with, but always tough on this outfield. The ball just travels.
Yeah, I think you have to put the body on the line sometimes as well, right? Third man could have done a little bit better as well, putting the body on there, but every run counts, as you know.
Well, goes to a point again. He's very prolific in that area, Arch Butch, but smartly, they've got a fielder in that place now because not really bad bowling outside the off stump, but Butch is going to try what he can to maneuver the ball into that position. So good captaincy from Rajit. It's part of proactive, waiting for endless boundaries to be scored in that region. You want to get out of this power play pretty cheap in terms of controlling the run rate. They've done that so far.
Well, they talk about bowling to one side of the field, and I think Sandy's done that pretty well. He obviously can only have the two guys out. And if he can keep the ball to the one side, then at least he's able to minimize the amount of damage. Nice drive there to cover.
Yeah, just found the fielder. Saw it yesterday a bit often. Umuk was timing the ball so well, but it was just continuously going to fielders, especially in that early power play. Pretty much an identical start from yesterday. They lost Butch early, but in terms of the scoring, not much difference. After the first 6, they were 35 for 1, the Silicon Valley Strikers. So a bit improved, but the main thing is that they have all 10 wickets in hand. You know how dangerous that can be, especially on a surface with that early morning moisture, which can be a bit tedious to bat on. Should just be 1. Wants 2. Sent back probably wisely in the end by Arch Butch. One thing about Unmuk Chan, he believes he bats himself to get to any end. He's that quick between the wickets.
He is good between the wickets, and I think that's a massive for any young player out there. Running between the wickets is a crucial part of the game. If you can do that and judge a run or judge 2 runs, it takes a lot of pressure off you actually scoring boundaries.
You can see the running between the wickets. Good by Unmuk Chan. Once again, come up for 2, but just be a single. That's the key, though. I think even though, yes, sometimes 2 is not on the cards, the fact that they're always looking, not only does that leave them sort of on the alert for looking for a second run, but it puts pressure on the fielders who we've seen, you know, falter under some of that pressure between the 2 days. So it's been good cricket, good. I think that's why the Silicon Valley Strikers are the champions of this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're running hard the first run, and there's any type of fumble or pressure on the fielder, allows them to get back.
Well, a fluent drive in the offside. No fielder's going to stop that. Don't move, Unmuk Chan. That's a boundary.
And that's exactly what you want to see from your top player. What a fantastic, just eased into it. Sure.
It was just so fluent on the front foot. It's that region again, through extra cover, and as soon as he hits it there, doesn't even bother attempting a single. He knows it's for boundary, especially in this power play. A good end to the over, 50 for none. Is it going to be possible to ever hear this stuff, Mike? Or is that...
Same ball, right up.
So successful power play. They'll be very happy with the way that they started the Strikers. An improvement from yesterday where they were only 35 for 1. They've gone to 50, and the important thing, 0 in the wickets column. Gian Fernando will continue. Pretty economical first over, just considering the 7 runs.
Yeah, the Strikers would be happy with where they're at right now. This obviously lays the platform. We saw yesterday the amount of power that they have. I think they'll be targeting a similar type of score, 180, 170 plus. I think that's definitely on the cards.
I was quite surprised that Gian Fernando wasn't actually in the 11 yesterday. Wonder if there was any injury issues to him, but he's an important player for them with both bat and ball. Brought him in today. And quick single by Arch Butch. Interested to see how he goes out now with the power play completed. But you look at Fernando, he has that pretty much similar build to a lot of the Sri Lankan seamers or those that we see come out in recent times. Dusmantha Chamira, I look at him and compare the two because that tall build, you know, sort of slim, but able to have that very high release point. That to me is one of the main things you see from Sri Lankan seamers throughout the years. Of course, as we praise his fluent action, he has a small stumble. Off the outside edge, and would you believe it, it's going to be 4 more. Nothing has gone their way, the Lashings so far. They had a slip in place for a lot of the power play, but obviously taking him out now with Unmuk Chan being comfortable at the crease and gets a boundary.
I don't think he would have been able to stop that one too. That was just wide of second slip most likely, and they wouldn't have had that. Tough to
outside the power play with 5 outside the circle. Trying to attack that pad. He's another player that comes across that off stump, Unmuk Chan, but he's so strong around it. You can try so often to hit it, direct hit as well, but he gets there safely in the end.
That is brilliant running. Excellent running.
And you can see now outside the power play, he's got protection down the ground with the 2 outside the circle. It was interesting he didn't have a third man in place, but he's got a deep cover as well. You pretty much see that for Unmuk Chan throughout the innings, and he's a very straight deep cover as well, sort of in that extra cover region for that inside out shot he's so good at. Well, aerial, but should just trickle down to the man at mid-wicket. And again, how many doubles have we seen by this opening pair? Runs that you think would be just a single for other batters, these two are not settling. They're running really hard between the wickets, and it's continuing to allow that run rate to increase.
Yeah, I think they've identified some of the weaker fielders in the side, and you know the speed in which they get between the wickets. It has to be a dead-on pick up and throw. Excellent cricket.
But if you're now joining us, it is still Zubin Sakari next to me. He's just enjoyed himself so much after day 1 that he sort of lost his voice, but, you know, all part of the new commentating journey for you, Zubin.
Yeah, 8 hours of commentary. I don't know how you do it, but yeah, I'm struggling a little bit. Apologies to the fans out there. Soundlet, a bit of Kermit the Frog, or the teenager from The Simpsons, if any reference there for people out there.
All in the love, all in the passion for the game. All that screaming you would have done watching Unmuk Chan and Katani Clark.
Yeah, there's definitely been some good performances out there.
What a game it was, though, to close day 1 of this minor league championship. It was the final game yesterday between the Grizzlies and the Lashings, and we saw such a nail-biter with Clark getting 99 and 4 short. They'll be looking to rectify that today. End of the 7th over, 61 for 1. Sorry, for none, correction. Well, you can see just 3 bowlers used so far by the SoCal Lashings. They've gone to Hutchinson pretty much throughout the season last year with first 2 up in the power play. Need to see him maximizing him a bit more. Only 3 overs yesterday for 15 runs. Sanchit Sandhu, a big improvement for him. Went to over 10 and over. Already you can see much improved. And Gian Fernando, I think, even though he's conceded, been a bit on the expensive side, he's been impressive. The captain, Abhimanyu Rajat, is going to come into the attack. We saw him bowl the newer ball yesterday. Today, opting to come a bit later on.
Yeah, he backed himself yesterday in taking off the, bowling in the last ball of the 20th over. Sorry, the last over.
Pretty unusual name with Raj and then the P at the end.
Rajap.
Yeah.
We'll bring it up to him later. Ask him how he prefers to be.
Well, I've been informed that it is Rajat, so spin into the attack for the first time today. Going to be off the strike straight away, Arsh Butch. I wonder though, maybe to bring himself on much earlier today.
We saw him open the bowling yesterday, right? I believe.
Yeah, he bowled that brand new ball for the Lashings and even bowled the final over. It was a very good one. Just 5 runs and 2 wickets conceded. Umuk Chan again wants to. Sent back. Always there looking though, Umuk Chan.
Yeah, kind of like he bowls fairly straight, and we've seen from a few balls he's bowled now. There's a bit of purchase in there for him. So it'll be decent to see how he goes about it.
Yeah, I wonder if probably the hesitancy to bring himself into the attack was because you have the 2 right-handers opening the batting still at the crease. Oh, almost. Almost. How good would that have been? It would have been a special catch had he held on. Rajit, always tough to kick those on return, but Arsh Butch is an important wicket with the start he's gotten.
Definitely a hard chance there. And a good effort to get down and low to the left, which is challenging. He's hit that pretty well too, so good effort. I wouldn't count that as a drop catch, but definitely a half chance.
Yeah, really powerfully struck. Timed it well, and always tough. Has to hope that it sticks in. Should just be 1 down to mid-wicket. And I just wonder when we'll see Akash Veer Singh, the main wicket taker for this Lashings team, with 2 right-handers at the crease. Maybe I thought he may have had the want to go to the left-arm spin with the ball traditionally going away from the 2 right-handers.
I think they'll be happy. The strikers will just be happy with just pushing the ball around a little bit. They've laid the platform now. They could probably just take the next 2-3 overs and just play sensible cricket.
Yeah, averaged 20 with the ball last season. Akash Veer Singh, we'll see him in action very soon. Still hasn't bowled yet into the attack. Here's Arsh Butch though. He's going big. That's what time at the crease gets you. Rating shot over long on, one of the toughest in the book to play.
I think he's just dragged that one too. He's probably decided that he wants to go after it. So much for knocking it down the ground.
Well, that, I believe it went 1 bounce into the boundary. Thought it went all the way. Hard to tell from that angle, but it will end the over nonetheless. And well on top, well on the charge here, the Silicon Valley Strikers. End of 8, 71 for none.
My son, he's so soft-spoken. Everyone says he's so good-looking, and he never forgets to call.
Hi, Mom. Born for your true self. The 2022 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Well, welcome to the Woodley Park venue here in Los Angeles. Really have to say, Zubin, I've been mightily impressed with facilities here at Woodley Park. I've only come here once before for cricket, but I think it's been a drastic change in terms of what we've seen with the 2, in terms of the last time I was here, which is a couple of years ago, and I think definitely shaping up as one of the better cricketing facilities in the United States.
Yeah, I tend to agree as well. Another good single there. Yeah, this is my first time at Woodley, and I'm massively impressed with this venue and the surrounding grounds around it. Looks like a nice park for people to come to. Definitely a community-based event. There's been some lively stuff that's been happening. A few West Indians in the park last night with some music, which is always nice to find. But such a great place for people to come and watch some community-based cricket.
Well, you can't keep us West Indians out of the action. We'll find you, Zubin. I'm telling you, we'll find the cricket. We love our cricket, regardless of wherever in the world. And they're going to come through for a single here. Didn't need to really throw that at the stumps. They weren't going to attempt the single, but in the end, a bit sloppy from the Lashings. Have to keep it together at this stage.
Yeah, they don't want to get this game away from them. They're already pretty much on the back foot here.
Umuk Chan was comfortably home, but when the ball hit the stumps, Those backing up had no chance because it easily went into the boundary as well. Probably fortunate on that end of things. Good cricket, really good cricket from Woon Muk Chan.
One of my favorite shots, that one.
Simple but effective. Hasn't faced many dot deliveries, Woon Muk Chan, so far. Partnership worth, of course, 74. These openers setting a platform. One thing about this Valley Strikers team, of course, Lakshmi, their official sponsor, those spices that they had come into this that he could have had. What are your favorites?
Garam masala?
Ooh, no, that's a little too strong for me. Can't deal with that one.
Oh, that's lovely.
Maybe Woon Muk Chan coming from India, of course. May have cooked him a meal or so. I hope he can cook Woon Muk Chan. Indian food, some of the best in the world.
I don't take him for being active in the kitchen. Seems like he's worries about his diet and wants to be lean.
Which is why he should be active in the kitchen, ensuring that he eats well.
Eating by weight, weight. He's got the weigh scale. But he definitely looks today. He looks rotated the strike nicely. He's just 36 off 29.
But there it is, the first wicket, first breakthrough for at the body again. That plan has finally worked. Dale Phillips takes the catch, and a success and a sigh of relief for Gian Fernando. It was a big risk to pull the third over. They wanted the wicket, and they have delivered. The crucial wicket of Arsh Bush goes.
Good ball, just a bit of an effort ball here. Banged it in a little bit.
Yeah, just got too close to him to cut, and a little touch straight through to Dale Phillips, who makes no mistake. And Gian Fernando, you can see the huge sigh and look to the heavens. He knows what it means to get that wicket. Butch gone for a well-played 34, 76 for 1. So with that wicket, here comes Shehan Jayasuriya, already off to a good start yesterday. Really up the intensity of the innings when, at a time where his team needed it, they needed a contribution from him. Things just look to be getting away from them. Jayasuriya came in, and he certainly attacked the spin as well.
Yeah, he looked really good yesterday. Came in very positive. I think his first ball, he swept for 4. And now he's got another platform set for him. It's always nice coming in at these stages, I would say. 70, 80 runs on the board for 1 down. That's good. But you never know. Rajab has bowled well. He's got a left-hander at the crease now. I wonder if he'll have off-spin from both ends.
Still no Akash Veer Singh into the attack as yet for the Silicon Valley Strikers. Saw him come in yesterday.
All in, 1.
In the 9th over.
Nicely played.
Actually, sorry, in the 6th over. As soon as the power play was completed, Akash Veer Singh was brought into the attack. The captain, Rajab, still hasn't opted for his wicket taker. And now with Shehan Jayasuriya left hand at the crease, that even becomes more challenging for him to bring him into the attack. It'll help Rajab though. Here's the wicket again. Gian Fernando getting a bit of extra bounce. He's a very tall man and very close to Arsh Butch. It may have actually moved in off the seam. That green grass we mentioned probably assisted him in the end.
Yeah, it just got a bit high on him, which is credit to Fernando to kind of just have a bit of an effort ball. You're talking about having a high action, good shoulder.
Yeah, well, Jayasuriya will get off the mark straight away. Full toss gift for him. That's what I love about this game of cricket. So many small, subtle variances that can make such a big difference. That ball could have easily gone on, maybe a bit wider of Arsh Butch, and he could have easily got the middle of the bat on it and cut it for 4. But the slightest of inward movement makes it a bit too close to cut, and it just easy catch for Dale Phillips in the end. This game of cricket, I'm saying it now, best sport in the world by a long way.
Definitely a game of inches.
Come on, Zubin, you know that I'm right. No sport can rival this. People that don't think so, I think they just don't understand the game. But join us, Zubin Sakari and myself, and you'll understand by the end of this game, I can tell you. Of course, our partners at Topping carry the game to the worldwide exposing it to the global audience as well.
Ball there, just hitting the outside edge.
Gonna get an overthrow as well. Not great cricket, sloppy from the Lashings, who have bowled well. That's the thing, they've bowled really well, but they're not doing themselves any favors when they give away runs and allow Jayasuriya to come out for 2.
Yeah, look at that. That's a ball that's been spinning from middle of the leg stump, just an outside edge. That's good signs for Rajab. Oh, he's down the track. That's fantastic. Good strike.
Well, as straight as an arrow from Shehan Jayasuriya. We saw this yesterday. A clear inclination to attack against the spin, and he's doing it again. He's helping his team. So good at batting through these middle overs. A man with international experience. You expect this from him.
Yeah, it's good. Just good movements down the ground. He wasn't quite there, but his hands, he's got such good hands just getting to the pitch of it.
Again, though, you see a bit of extra spin. That one actually went away. Well, traditionally went away, being the left arm spinner to, sorry, the off spinner to the left-hander. It'll end the over with a single at the end of 10. The halfway stage, the striker is well on top of things, even after losing the wicket. 86 for 1. Well, welcome back to the Toyota MiLC presented by SoCal, of course. What a tournament, what an opportunity we have for cricket in the United States to have this tournament for the 2nd year in a row, hoping it can really go on for decades and eons to come, because I think it's a tournament which has drastically changed the way cricket has, you know, just been developed in the United States. We've seen an influx of local talent, youth talent as well.
Yeah, quite impressive. We have 20s. Nationwide tournament that's going on. Not only is it being played here, but it's being played on the East Coast, being in the South, Northwest.
Again, down the ground, it'll be another single. So Herman Sandir, who comes into the Lashings team for the first time in this tournament, into the attack very early.
The old bunny ear. Let's tuck in that pocket a bit. But yeah, first time we're going to see him.
Yeah, interesting field as well for the spin. Look at what he's got in the deep. Pretty conventional with the cover mid-wicket on the boundary. Oh, wow. That's 4 runs. Full toss gift given to Unmuk Chan. You don't want to give the tournament leading scorer from last season any free deliveries. You just put you away like that every day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Yeah, that's a bit of a gift there. Don't think he's going to. Just an easy as you like, low full toss. Didn't miss out.
So Sandir must adjust. This time through extra cover. And there is protection there for that shot. Is he really trying to spin the ball? I want to take a closer look at him. Herman Sandir. First time we're seeing him in the tournament. He has this pretty much longer run. Is he really trying, or is it just some gentle medium pace? Holding the ball seam up at the moment. Very hard for me to tell, but I don't see anything happening off the surface. Just Jayasuriya has to hurry. And again, pressure put on the extra cover fielder allows him to just... What do you reckon, Zubin? Is he spinning the ball? Is he trying to spin the ball?
I don't know what he's trying, to be honest. Just seems a bit that the way he's holding it is just a bit seam up. But
you batters always so cruel in this game.
Yeah, I think he'd be going the distance.
So So Chan, oh wow, just squeezes it past and cuts the gap in between the square leg and mid-wicket region. And even a fielder on the boundary couldn't stop it. Unmuk Chan, probably the easiest player on the eye you'll get in this Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship.
Yeah, certainly just a gift. Another one just kind of going down the leg. As easy as you like.
Well, we know players from the subcontinent have the strongest wrists in the game. Unmuk Chan, you can see, easily playing that off the pad. This man continues to just do fantastic work for the Silicon Valley Strikers team. Oh, how about this? Even better. And it's going to be 4 more. Comes on the other side of Unmuk Chan now. Sandir tries to make the adjustment outside the off stump. And Unmuk Chan says, no problem. Whatever you can do, I can do better. Opens the face, and with that boundary, gets another half century. He breathes runs in this tournament. It's back-to-back 50s in 2 days for Chan. 51 from 31 deliveries. Take a bow, skipper.
Yeah, he's just raced away to 50 quite easily, just without any real stress. I don't think he's hit a 6 in this innings yet.
Just 8 boundaries, Zubin.
8 boundaries, yeah.
And all of a sudden, still striking at 164. It tells you this game of T20 cricket, we think, is all about the big sixes. Unmuk Chan, he's changed the definition of that. The 100 comes up with that boundary as well. They take...
Come across.
It's 15 runs from that over. Herman Sandir brought into the lineup today. He's gone the distance so far, all along the ground, though. That's been the key. No real risk from Unmuk Chan. Season campaign in this tournament. Akashveer Singh will come into the attack for the first time today. Been the main wicket-taking threat for this Lashings team in the 2021 season. No wickets yesterday, though. Was tad expensive, close to 9 runs and over conceded.
It's going to be interesting to see what he can do here. I mean, I like the way he bowls. He's just over the top. It's a nice action.
Oh, wow.
Excellent pace.
That almost went on to the stumps. Getting a bit of variable bounce. Akashveer Singh could have easily picked up his first wicket of the tournament.
Is that an edge on that? Just by the reaction from the bowler.
Yeah,
like
maybe.
Could
have well been an edge, but always tough for the keeper to take. Dale Phillips is extremely good craftsman with the gloves on. Even he would have struggled with that. They'll get a quick single. One thing I love about this tournament, though, the rule of having an 1 under 19 and 1 under 21 player in your lineup. Akashveer Singh, under 19, definitely has shown great ability. We've seen some really good young talent, which actually, Zubin, from this tournament have been propelled into the international level. You mentioned Vatsav Aikela, who we saw yesterday, Rahul Jariwala, who's also in this Strikers team. Both have made their international debuts.
No, there's a quick single there. You know, this is one of the great things about the MiLC is that it gives up the young players a platform, and like you said, they have to have an under 21 and under 19 in the side. It gives them a platform to show and expose them against some good players on some good surfaces. It gives them that opportunity to get notice for the national team, and that's been a success from this event so far.
Well, down the track, but didn't really time it well, Jayasuriya. So just be a single. Probably missed out on that occasion. It was a full toss. He created the length into a full toss, but didn't really time it well. But you have to look at, it's actually a fantastic thing. When you look at the players who excelled last season and the way that they actually were able to make the international debuts in between the tournaments. I'll talk about that after this delivery. Unmuk Chan down the ground. Long on in place. You look at Vatsav Aikela, who we know has played international cricket. Jerry Wallace played 1 T20 international. Others like Yasser Mohammed, who got a 50 for the Empire State the Manhattan Yorkers yesterday. The leg spinners, also played for the USA. So I love the fact that the selectors are using this minor league, which is some of the highest quality of cricket, as the criteria to select for international cricket.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is you're giving them an opportunity to see them and expose them against some good players.
Oh, what ball? What ball?
Nice single down the ground again.
And it should also build some optimism in the likes of Akash Veer Singh and others at the under-21 and under-19 level that they too can be the next ones to be propelled into that national team setup. End of the over. This game developing nicely for a grand finish. 106 for 1. So it looks like it will be Sandhu back into the attack. The captain, he's shuffled his options, looking at still for that wicket to break this partnership. Jayasuriya and Unmuk Chan have been such a reliable pairing for the strikers in pretty much all the matches they've batted together. Already up to 30, this partnership between the two. And we saw in even the Golden State Grizzlies innings how important partnerships were just the fact that they were able to spend time at the crease. Oh, look at that. What an adjustment from Jayasuriya. Went for the dill scoop, but it was a good line bowled, which he had to adjust, and he gives the bowler actually a knock because of how the adjustment made. Probably went a bit too early trying to premeditate.
Yeah, I don't know how much space you're going to get on to do a dill scoop. But just getting back to what you were saying before, you know, this tournament allows an opportunity for not only the players. Just have a look at the old attempted dill scoop or something. French cricket for any of those who've played that bit of French cricket there. Yeah, it just allows an opportunity for not only the players but also the opportunity for selectors to see him on video and you know, in a production of this quality.
Good delivery from Sandhu, asking the question pretty late on and actually given. And Unmuk Chan knows it. So Sandhu looks to the heavens. He's been finally dismissed. Unmuk Chan, the captain of the strikers, is consecutive 50s in this tournament, but he's got to finally depart. And Rajip's move to bring Sandhu back into the attack for his final over works to fruition.
Might have been the slightest of edges there.
Again, a second delivery we've seen with the batter trying to cut, and as soon as he hit it, he knew. Didn't even want to look at the umpire, Unmuk Chan. Almost a guilty look, but what a knock from Unmuk Chan. 50 again for him. Just 34 deliveries for his 53. He continues to pile on the runs in this Toyota minor league. Replacing him is going to be Gary Graham. Interesting move now because the second time in this tournament, well, only played 2 games, but second time we've seen Gary Graham coming at number 4. And I think it could be because of the amount of firepower they have. Narsim Deonorain still carrying an injury. He'll come back into the 11 at some stage in the season. But you look at him, Primus, and Gary Graham. 3 guys who can really finish the innings for you. So to try and maximize your resources, they've sent Gary Graham at number 4. I like the move from the captain and coaching staff because I feel he was just wasted a bit down the order. Didn't bat many deliveries in the season because of how well the top order did.
I think this is a good part for him to come in as well. 107 for 2. 2 guys at the crease are looking to accelerate. It's a nice time to come in. You have a couple overs to actually assess the conditions and be able to start going.
A good start to Gary Graham. He's one of those very aggressive players. Shayan Jayasuriya, I wonder if he's the one now that will take up the role of trying to just spend time at the crease, ensure that they have a solid base from one end so that it allows Graham, Primus to play risk-free cricket. You don't want to see a situation where they go all guns blazing a bit too early and then they're struggling towards the end of the innings. Sandhu's missed his run up a couple times today. Could be a bit of up and down in terms of that run up. So it's so hot and dry. Just cut again by Graham. Gets off the mark straight away. The first weekend of premium coverage, of course, live on Willow TV and the MiLC network, zoom in. But I think such a fantastic initiative to have a full 8-camera setup. The exposure it does for some of the players in this tournament. Every weekend we're going to be at a different place in the United States. I have to say, you know, I'm so excited for the premium coverage, and it's made a huge difference as well to the overall production. Pulled into the onside. Of course, that coverage wouldn't be possible without the likes of SoCal, Toyota, and all the other sponsors on board. Of course, DAFA News, bringing the coverage to the global cricketing audience. And of course, this is the Silicon Valley sponsor as well. Shows you when you win a tournament, companies come knocking on your door. The Valley Strikers would have won last year's minor league. No surprises that they've got a huge endorsement this season.
Yeah, what a fantastic, the camera work and the images that we're showing back to our fans. This is what we're working toward and trying to get all the games in this quality.
He's a hard taskmaster, Peter Steep, you know, behind the scenes, but always puts out a fantastic product. Changed the game, I think, with that finals weekend in North Carolina last year. Set the tone of what we can expect this season. What a start it's been. End of 13 overs, 111 for 2.
Yeah, 13 done.
So already pretty exciting first 13 overs unfolding here at the Woodley Park in Los Angeles. Of course, Western Conference matchup.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
And Jayasuriya very aggressive against the spin. Akashvir Singh into the attack for a second over.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Jayasuriya go after it a bit here. He's got a good platform, 13 down.
That's it! Yeah!
Oh,
Well, soft dismissal, extremely soft, and Akashvir Singh finally picks up his first wicket of this season, and he will do himself, he'll do his confidence a word of good, but also he'll breathe a sigh of release because he was looking for that, and Jayasuriya looking to up the ante against the spin as he does so often, just chips it in the air to Akashvir Singh.
yeah, I think he just tried to play it against the spin. There's been a bit of purchase. Singh is happy with that. Good celebration there as well.
And we mentioned this is how often do we see a wicket. One bringing 2. Jayasuriya gone for 15, 111 for 3. Roshan Primus will come out to bat. Now this is a very interesting move. I thought, Zubin, when you have 2 wickets falling in quick succession, maybe the chance to send a Rahul Jariwala in, especially with Gary Graham at the other end, someone that can look to spend time and occupy the crease. Instead, though, the Valley Strikers are being aggressive. They've gone for their power hitter, Roshan Primus, and 26 from 10 yesterday. It was a great start to the tournament for him.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's at a crucial kind of time. There's 7 overs left, or 6 and a bit overs left. You know, but. And again, you want to get the guy who's in form in as quickly as possible. And Roshan is definitely in form. Wicket falling on 111 for those who are.
That's it!
First one.
Oh, extra cover. That's power. Brute force and power from Roshan Primus. And what a way to get off the mark. He's not phased that 2 wickets have just fallen. He's ready to get going again. I keep mentioning Zubin. This man comes into this tournament in serious nick. 300 scored in local cricket in Barbados, which is a very high level, mind you, club cricket domestically. So he comes to this minor league on similar surfaces, similar conditions, outside being extremely hot and humid, with a good backing under his belt.
Yeah, he's not wasting any time. First ball, outside off stump, and he's put that away pretty quickly.
He's also so dangerous against these bowlers which are much slower through the air. Akashvir Singh, someone that likes to flick the ball. It gives Primus time to watch it. I like this aggressive move from the strikers to send Primus in. Yes, he's only hit 1 boundary, but still, they're not settling and being too overcautious. They're the defending champions. Take the game on.
And they're showing that at this point. It's taking the fielder to go and grab the ball. A few minutes there. But yeah, you're right. He's just latched into it without even taking any time to settle in. Let's see where he goes from here.
So Akashvir Singh, he taken a wicket and then been pummeled to the boundary by Primus. Pressure on him. Much better. Oh, look at that. Every time he's been able to find that length, he's given the batters worry. We saw Jayasuriya with a couple try to cut, almost ricochet into the stump. Now Primus again. That's where you have to be. Anything full, Roshan Primus will use those big levers he has. Goes again.
Good follow-up ball.
Through the offside. Much better from Akashvir Singh. Good adjustment, good correction in terms of the length. To think that he's just under 19. You think about the players, though, the talent on display. Rahul Jariwala already played international cricket. We mentioned Vakil at 20, but Jariwala's 18 years old. He's already played 1 international match for the USA. That was in Ireland last year, end of last year. I'm sure he will be in action very soon, but these two in the middle won't want to let it get to that. They want to finish the job. End of 14 overs, 117 for 3.
Just a quick look at the SoCal Lashings, SoCal Lashings bowling figures. Elmo Hutchinson just the 2 overs for 16. Hasn't been really any standout performances so far. They'll be looking to pick up a few wickets here if they can stem the flow.
Yeah, and even though he has been on the expensive side, conceding 8 runs and over Hutchinson, I really hope Rajat manages his overs better, because at the death, with that bit of extra pace, by a long way the fastest bowler that they have, the Lashings, he's going to be important, especially if these 2 hitters remain. Gian Fernando, who was brought in to take the wicket, got the first breakthrough of Butch. Comes back into the attack to bowl his final over. Bold call by Rajat to bring him back into the attack now. Gary Graham just pulls this one. And it will be a couple of runs. Coming back for, 2. Should be an easy 2 in the end. Work to be done, though, at mid-wicket. It's a big square boundary.
Yeah, there's a lot of the boundary riders on the square of the wicket are going to be in it. Especially it's a bit uneven in certain parts, so it's a bit challenging.
The last 2 overs, they've only conceded 12. Golden, Gian Fernando into the stumps, and the SoCal Lashings have battled back into this game. This is far from over, folks. Gian Fernando showing his experience. He was left out yesterday. What a comeback for him. Straight at the stumps. You miss, I hit.
And credit to the captain to bring him back on.
Hits the top of middle stump, and Fernando, that big right hand goes up. He knows what it means to break that partnership. Gary Graham is a dangerous player. He's gone for a small contribution, just 6 for him. 119 now for 4.
Pranay Suri coming out. I'm just questioning why Jarawala hasn't come in yet. I think that would have been a good little spot for him to come in. He can build an innings. He's got Roshan at the other end that can take the pressure off.
Yes.
In any case, we'll see what happens.
Suri has been a player that they've gone to finish innings off for them. And you've now lost 3 wickets in 3 overs.
Get your legs up. Legs up. Right arm over.
So work to be done for the Silicon Valley Strikers. Remember, they were 50 after the first power play. Lost their way a bit with the wicket of Butch. Got to 86 for 1 after 10. Still a great position to be in. But they've lost their way. They've stumbled in the last couple of overs. Losing 3 wickets in 3 overs now. Gian Fernando and the Lashings on the charge. Clip down the leg side. Oh, was there a bat on it? Dale Phillips made a dive to his left, but couldn't hold on. And his leg by is signaled. So doesn't matter how they come. The run's important.
Yeah, I can see the bowler trying to attack the stumps. Just not a bad option first. Just straight down a little bit, and obviously a bit of a leg by. But 4 to the scorecard.
So Fernando, you can tell, really in a good spell of bowling at the moment. Running in extremely hard. Look at that. Getting some more of that inward movement. Run out chance. Had he hit, Primus, I think, was gone. Pranay Suri, that's a big risk he's taking. And to run out Roshan Primus in that situation, well, that would have been disastrous, to say the least, for the Silicon Valley Strikers, but he gets away with it.
Fernando with a bit of soccer skills, bit of football skills. Soccer, we'll call it here in the U.S. That was, I think that was, had he have hit that, I think he might have been gone there.
Well, it could have been a very close call for the square leg umpire to make. See, it was just hit into the onside. Well, tried to hit into the onside, and then, oh, he was gone by a long way, Primus. They're going to come out for 2 here. It's a run out, actually, the Strikers. Pranay Suri falls short of his ground. And look at that wicket again. The running yet again being a problem. We were just showing a very near run out chance. So they wanted 2. He got to the stumps very quickly. What a pickup by Harpreet Singh it was. And fantastic work from the Lashings in the field. Now 4 wickets taken in the last 4 overs. Gian Fernando, that's acrobatic to say the least. Caught the ball and then threw it, had to hit the stumps. Easy decision for the umpire.
Excellent play from both of them. Good pickup by the fielder in the deep. And acrobatic, you're right. Fernando, good pickup and nice shot at the wicket.
Well, this is what wickets do for you. It gets you back into this game. 5th goes down for the Strikers. They're in trouble. The Silicon Valley Strikers, after posting 180 yesterday, they're 124 for the loss of 5. So in the middle now, Rahul Jariwala comes out in an important time for his team. But a really crucial passage of play. Ends a fantastic over for the SoCal Lashings. They strike twice in the 15th over. Here's a look at the run out at the end of the over. And when you're under the pump, Zubin, you can't afford to give away chances like that. 125 for 5.
My son, he's so soft-spoken. Everyone says he's so good-looking, and he never forgets to call.
Hi, Mom. Born for your true self. The 2022 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At SoCal, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Keep rushing him. Stay.
Just had one delivery inside the 16th over. Abhimanyu Rajip, the captain, comes back into the attack. Roshan Primus becomes so important. Sweeps this one. It'll just be a single. But all of a sudden, things not going well for the Valley Strikers. They were cruising at one stage, Zubin. 106 for 1 after the 12th over. All of a sudden, things going from bad to worse. Jariwala off the mark straight away.
Certainly a crucial period for the Strikers upwards.
Here is it again. As soon as Pranay Suri hit it, he called Primus through for 2. Primus wanted 2, going to the danger end, but it tricked him. Thought he was throwing to the keeper's end. Suri then had to hurry, but Fernando even better. Big swing and a miss from Primus inside edge. Fortunate. All of a sudden, things getting very difficult for the Silicon Valley Strikers.
Definitely going to be an interesting passage of play here. You know, can they get up to that 170 mark? If they get Primus here, a lot is resting on his shoulder.
Well, extras won't. Primus will be the man that they need, and almost could have been a second run out. Primus wisely sending him back in the end. You can see there, just down the leg side. Very quick outfield. Well, they have tried to be aggressive in terms of the running between the wickets, the Silicon Valley Strikers. We saw it with Umuk Chan, Arch Butch. They've tried to continue that throughout, but a bit of indecision. I think you need to be mature in this situation, Primus, and just calm things down. Just a couple close calls, couple yes-nos. You can't afford to lose another wicket here, especially going into the business end of this innings.
Oh, Bob. You gotta go! Roll
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, it's always a tough one in T20 cricket of what the pace of play you have to play at. You obviously have to score. And if you've lost a couple wickets, you know what is the tempo that you have to go with.
Another economical over comes to an end. Just 7 from it, 132 for 5. Well, after such a good start, the first 12 overs, they were well on top of this game, 106 for 1. Since, though, they've lost 4 wickets in 5 overs. And they've only managed to score 36 runs since that 12th over. Oh, sorry, 26 runs, correction. Kian Fernando's been brilliant in bringing his team back into this game. What a comeback it was for him after being left out of the first opening matchup for the Lashings. 2 wickets for 26 runs for him. Elmore Hutchinson will come back into the attack. We saw only 3 overs from him yesterday. And I think I like this move from Abhimanyu Rajit. Being aggressive. You've already got control of the situation with those 4 wickets you've taken. Keep picking up wickets. Don't allow this Valley Strikers, dangerous defending champions, to get back into this game. Primus is the one they want. That's the wicket that they need. And he's also adjusted the way he's played thus far, Roshan Primus. Remember, he got off the mark with a boundary through cover, but since then, since losing the wicket of Gary Graham and then Pranay Suri, he's played it much safer. Probably the right thing to do in this situation.
Yeah, he obviously knows that the good thing about him is he can make up for it in any fashion. If he can just ride out the next 1 or 2 overs, just build a small partnership with Jariwala, who's also definitely capable, they can get upwards of that total that they wanted.
Pulled by Rahul Jariwala. He's going to have to really change the way he plays now, Jariwala, after opening the batting last year for this team. It's probably a tough thing as a youngster as well. You get that sort of success opening the batting for your team, the team that wins the tournament, and then you're told on the first day of the season that you're going to actually be batting at 5 and 6. 286 runs for Rahul Jariwala.
I think it's a nice position for Jariwala to come in. Bit of experience to gain. It's a nice shot.
Was slapped.
Away.
cut away by Roshan Primus, and I like the way he's constructed this inning so far, playing it safe. He's got many dimensions to his game, the all-rounder, showing his versatility at Woodley Park. It was short and point, very straight. Just positioned it well, raced across the rope. Roshan Primus, he packs a punch.
Yeah, it's good to still. You still see that you still got to be positive. You still have to score, and he's just slightly, giving a bit of width. Follow up, another good single.
Roshan Primus actually a member of Wanderers Cricket Club back in Barbados, Zubin, my schoolboy club. I've always watched him very close, being, sort of aspiring to see the big hits and the powerful innings that he's played over the years for the club. But I remember in 2020, at the beginning of the year, against Ireland, 85 from 36 deliveries he played against an international unit. That, to me, I think, is when I really realized the talent, the skill that he possesses. And he's just grown from stride to stride year after year. Jariwala hasn't found his timing, but they're going to get off the strike. May have come off the hand. But just getting back to Primus, last year was a big year for him in this Silicon Valley Strikers side. He's a person that's played in the CPL as well. He's played first-class cricket in Trinidad and Guyana. So he has had to really adjust. I think if he gets the full season under his belt in this minor league, it could do a world of good, not only for his confidence, but for really his overall game in this tournament.
Yeah, he certainly possesses all the abilities that you'd want in a shorter format for sure. He's looking here, has a nice little opportunity just to build an innings a bit calmer than normal.
And as we say that and praise him, the commentator's curse. The ball cannons into leg stump. Elmore Hutchinson.
Excellent cricket there.
Oh, how often do we see the commentator's curse? But he's fired up, and the Lashings have played fantastic cricket in this game because they've been aggressive in captaincy. Abhimanu Rajat deserves credit. Inside edge onto the stumps, and it just crashes in. One bail falls off. He knows how disappointing that is. Primus, after a couple of good strokes, he's gone for a well-played 13. It's 140 now for 6.
One, two, three.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go Rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
So Rahul Jariwala, under 21 player in this, actually under 19 players in this Silicon Valley Strikers team. A lot on the shoulders of the young man. Now with the wicket of Roshan Primus. At the other end though, looks to be Srinivas Raghavan is coming to bat with him. Akashveer Singh. Have seen this inclination by Rajat to go to Akashveer Singh in the last 5 overs. It's a bold move for the spinner, but clearly he backs him to be economical enough to get through the death overs. On the trap in the air, but should just be a single.
Yeah, I think, you talk about composure and the type of character a bowler has. It's not easy for off spinners, definitely. In the modern game, it's the guys are looking to go after them, the majority of the players being right-handers. But it's good to see him. He seems a very, an active player, and wants to battle, wants to get in there.
This has been a good spell of bowling. 34 runs and 4 wickets taken by the Lashings in the last 5 overs. From over number 12, they've charged back into this game. Gonna finally get off the mark. Srinivas Raghavan with just a single.
Close that, close that. Got
just getting back to kind of that, the mindset a bowler has. You know, we talk about it, being able to back them to play in these tough conditions.
Well in this over. Akash Veer Singh, the 18th over, such an important one. But he's keeping the pressure on. The Lashings, well, they deserve immense credit for the way they've come back into this game. As soon as they took the wicket of Unmuk Chan, the game has changed. What a win it would be for this team. A team that finished, mind you, 6th in the Western Conference last year with just 4 wins to beat the defending champions. It would be a dream start. Big swing and a miss from Raghavan. Piling on the pressure to SoCal Lashings. End of the 18th. 1-4-3 for 6. Such an important partnership in the middle for the Silicon Valley Strikers. Well, I definitely owe Roshan Primus a meal because I was praising him, talking about his development, and as soon as I finished the next delivery, typical commentator's curse. Why does this happen, Zubin? Ball inside edges, could have gone anywhere, but of course, falls on the top of leg stump. Elmore Hutchinson finally gets his man.
Yeah, it seems to happen quite a lot. We've obviously mentioned how good he is and how strong he is, but that's how cricket is. It's going to be interesting to see how the strikers go from here. Good ball. Well played too. Block hole again.
Well, what I will say about him is due. Yesterday we were very critical of the captaincy of Abhimanyu Rajit. We looked at small situations where Elmore Hutchinson wasn't able to bowl his full quota of 4 overs. I thought that played a crucial part on the game. But the way he's shuffled his options today, been very selective. T20 cricket is about matchups. And then when he had a firm grip on this game, he brought in the likes of Gian Fernando and Hutchinson to continue to take wickets. This is a very chaseable total, given the fact that they got up to 160 yesterday with the bat in hand. Have to close out the innings well, though. That's the important thing. Can't relax. Still 1 over remaining after this. Top stuff, top stuff. Crafty from Elmore Hutchinson. So Hutchinson looking to seam the ball in to the right-hander. At the body, very tough to find the boundary.
Yeah, that's better.
Down the ground again. Rahul Jariwala hasn't found the boundary just yet. So no boundaries for Jariwala. This is top stuff from Elmore Hutchinson, an experienced campaigner, former international player for the USA. Hasn't been in and around the team for quite a while, but he's been keeping fit, still in the cricket. And, well, you would have known for a long time, Zubin, in terms of what he's capable of doing at the international level. Showing it for the SoCal Lashings today. That's good bowling. Came across his stumps. Raghavan not going to be given a wide because of how much he came across the off stump. Good decision by the umpire. And he knew he missed out there, Srinivas Raghavan. Bowling from around the wicket, Elmore Hutchinson trying to angle the ball in to Raghavan, the right-hander. This is good planning, good cricket from the SoCal Lashings, the team from South California. Oh, wow, getting some extra bounce. The tall man will just fall short of Akash Veer Singh. But another excellent delivery. Still has 1 in the over remaining, Elmore Hutchinson. You expect, after how well he's bowled, Akash Veer Singh may get the final over. You can see there a bit of extra bounce. That tennis ball bounce, we saw a couple of occasions yesterday. So it has an interesting decision to make. Abhimanyu Rajit, the captain, still has 1 over left. He's conceded 27 runs. but he bowled the final over yesterday and only conceded 5 and took 2 wickets. Pace off from Hutchinson. Again, Gian Fernando very tidy at the boundary. They're on top at the moment, the SoCal Lashings. They're closing this game well. 1 more over remains. 147 for 6. Well, things have unfolded so well in this game. Pretty much an iconic T20. The way it started, the strikers were on top for pretty much the first 12 overs, but this game, like so many other sports, is a game of momentum. And the SoCal Lashings, they've fought back like the Toyota Tundra in this game with brute force, power. Took 4 wickets between overs 12 and 17. And it's the reason that they're, I would say, who are you giving the edge to at this stage, Zuin?
I'm definitely giving it to the Lashings at this stage. I mean, 148. Unless they can get 18 or so to put it over, but you know, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, have to close out well though. You don't want to go into the break under the pump. This time it's in the air. Has he got enough on it? You bet he has. Just evades the man at long on. And a good start to the inning, to the over. Sorry, we mentioned how important it was to close the over out well. Rahul Jariwala, he's a young man doing extremely well. The 150 comes up as well for the Silicon Valley Strikers. Taking it from outside the off-stump. Remember, Akashveer Singh much slower through the air. So it gave Jariwala time. And even with 2 fielders in the deep, still had enough on it to go all the way.
Yeah, they're going to have to go here. So I'm looking. They're going to be trying to hit 6 every ball here.
I want to see Akashveer Singh do the exact same thing he did to Roshan Primus. He was much shorter in length, but a lot flatter as well. Very tough to hit 6s from that. Well, goes again, but the same execution. Wants 2, but it'll just be a single. So good cricket from the Lashings. Good comeback. You have to close this innings out well.
It's a run out there too.
Well, some indecision, and I see Srinivas Raghavan's walking back. So he's going to be run out. A good wicket for the Silicon Valley Strikers. Let's have a look at it again, because there clearly was some mishap between the two. Raghavan was running to the danger end. I think he wanted to get Jariwala back on strike. At the non-strikers end, Rahul Jariwala. Mohammad Irfan Jr. has come to the middle. Not sure what happened there, but we're going to get that for you very soon. Akashveer Singh, though, good comeback for him. A dot, then getting the run out. So Irfan Jr., the tall fast bowler from Pakistan, comes to the middle. Field change, brings the man up at cover. Need to finish well. 155 for 7. If you can keep it to under 160. You got to 164 yesterday, the Lashings. Well, go straight up. And does he have enough on it? Yes, he does. It's the second maximum in the over. And the long levers of Mohammad Irfan Jr. working well. This was what you didn't want if you're the captain. You had to close the innings well. And unfortunately, the over's already traveled for 13 runs.
It's a bit of an unfortunate situation for Singh to come in. Wickets in hand and guys just trying to swing.
Goes again this time, down the ground. And it's 6 more. This has been brute force, stand and deliver stuff from Mohammad Irfan Jr. Couldn't have asked for much better from your tall fast bowler. Sometimes you got to do other things that are asked of you for the team. He's done just that. He's bowling the over so quickly. We can't even show you the replay, but you can see they're full, down the ground, maximum. But is it 3? Is it 3 in a row? It is. 6, 6, and another 6. Mohammad Irfan Jr., wow. And this was the only thing that Abhimanyu Rajat would have asked his bowler not to do. Tried to be a lot faster in flight, but he then sacrificed the length. Mohammad Irfan Jr., long hop in the end, not going to miss out on that. Bowling this delivery so quickly. Go on 2. And they're going to come back in the end. Run out chance. Has he got him? Dale Phillips is very good with the gloves on, but he's too quick. Those long strides helping him in the end. Mohammed Irfan Jr. And a fantastic end to the over. It means that they get up to 175. And remember, they were struggling at one stage in this innings. The Silicon Valley Strikers. What a performance this has been, though, to get to this total. They were 148 after 19 overs, Zubin.
Yeah, I think it's a tough situation for Young Singh to come into. Not sure if that was the best option to bowl an off spinner at the end.
27 runs from the final over, thanks to first a 6 by Jariwala, then 3 maximums from Mohammed Irfan Jr., who ends on 20 from just 4 deliveries. Extremely good from the Strikers. They're showing you why they're one of the best teams in this tournament. They're just so deep, and the captain, Umuk Chan, will feel a lot more comfortable with that score on the board. 180 yesterday, then 175 today. And this is why the batters, well, again, partnerships for them. But even today, when they lost their way through the middle, lost 5 wickets with just 34 runs, they were able to just pile the runs on towards the end, taking the game deep. Jariwala played a good cameo of 17. Mohammed Irfan, 3 maximums towards the end. But it was all about the man at top. Umuk Chan, the captain, consecutive 50 for him in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship.
And look at that, Mohammed Irfan, 20 runs off just the 4 deliveries. Now we'll look at the SoCal bowling lineup. Elmore Hutchinson, 4 overs this time, 1 for 29. Guyan Fernando, 2 for 26 off his 4 overs, and 1 for 41 off Akash Veer Singh. Unfortunately, going for 27 in his last over.
Expensive from Akash Veer Singh. Always going to be a tough choice for Abhimanyu Rajat, whether he went back to the off spinner, who's a lot slower. And in the end, 4 sixes coming from the final over. Yes, they got the wicket through the run out, but still, they'll feel very good about the fact that they were able to finish with 27 runs. So, with the run chase, 176 the Lashings will need if they're to get their first win in this tournament. We'll be back in about 8 minutes' time for the action.
You're watching the Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, presented by Sunoco.
Yeah, that's what the soil. The soil. It's the soil. The soil is not. So the grass is dying. What I need is that. Take it all off and then roll it. Yeah. That's what's going to have to happen. But I'll come and we try with it. You know, I'll try a few things. I've done a lot of research. I've gone to even there's a they call the swords. Yeah. So I have a contact with this and this using it. So we were doing a lot of he got the real clay. But yeah. I strain it. I got a Mexican who strain it, then we put it there, and we water it, roll it. I have ICC coming here today. Really? Yeah, in town we're coming to check to see if we qualify to have an international wickets are not great, but you know they would fix it. I don't mind because this when the bird comes out, yeah, I don't like it. Yeah. But right now this only do like this today because this is second week. Yeah, it's going on. This, you know, but bounce and carry. Get for you. He used to bowl at me and smile. Yeah. He used to shut one thing and then bowl me with the next.
Well, welcome back to Woodley Park in Los Angeles for this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by SoCal. Of course, brought to you on Willow TV and the MiLC network. Well, what a first innings it was for the Silicon Valley Strikers. One full of ebbs and flows. Arsh Butch was caught behind. That was the one that really helped the Lashings get back into this game. Shehan Jayasuriya with a couple of good strokes through cover. Likes to attack the spin. But just so fascinating how the game unfolded with Unmuk Chan. That was a huge moment in the game. In the side of the 13th over where he was caught behind looking to cut. Akash Veer Singh then, being a wicket taker, just got Jayasuriya to chip one up, and the celebration see Shekhar Dhawan do so often. This, though, was a big passage of play. Primus and Gary Graham were at the crease. Their hard-hitting nature, and they lost 2 wickets in quick time in the same over. A run-out of Pranay Suri. Acrobatic stuff from Gian Fernando. And things just went from bad to worse. Primus with a couple of good strokes here and there. A good cut through cover. But then, inside edging one onto his stumps. Typical commentator's curse. Elmore Hutchinson, the wicket-taking option, back into the attack. Doing the job for his team and his captain. So, an up-and-down game so far for the Silicon Valley Strikers, but the key thing is that momentum's on their side. 27 runs taken from the final over, and that's been because of that man there, Muhammad Irfan. 20 from 4, 3 huge, using the long levers. It was always going to be a big risk. Zubin Zakaria alongside me to go back to Akash Veer Singh for that final over. 27, really spoils his figures, but he wasn't terrible, you have to say. You know, in the first 3, got the crucial wicket of Shehan Jayasuriya.
Yeah, what an unfortunate spell for him in the last over there. Not easy coming in when batters are just swinging. But that thing will be a good learning opportunity for him to you know, be able to assess and what he can do better. But I, you know, definitely feel for him. Just an off spinner coming in with the free swing.
So interesting development here. Unmuk Chan with the gloves on, Zubin. No, haven't seen him wicket keep very often. They would have done it at the youth level in India. But Unmuk Chan, the captain, behind the stumps. Rahul Jariwala, injury for him. Which means
he's a man. So that just means he can't bowl.
Well, yes, that's a big
Bowled
factor.
yesterday, 250s. This man doing it all this year.
1 wicket for Unmuk Chan. But it is Saurabh Netravalkar who will take up proceedings. What a bowling performance it was from him yesterday. The opening batters walking out. This pair was so important for the SoCal Lashings. They were aggressive in nature. The Harpreet Singh and Kateni Clark. Kateni Clark, though, 99 from 71 deliveries. He lit the 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, presented by Sunoco, of course. He lit it on fire with that innings. Batted to the 20th over, but unfortunately, he couldn't get much help from anyone else. And in the end, fell short by some 18 runs, the Lashings. But that performance, I think, will give them confidence, Zubin, that if they can have someone ready to stick in and bat with a Kateni Clark or Harpreet Singh, they could get a lot closer to this total today.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that they couldn't keep the total down to, you know, a chaseable 165. This might be a little bit tough, especially in the form that Saurabh is in. But we did see Kateni Clark. Unbelievable performance yesterday. He'll be looking to get pretty aggressive. Seems the way he approaches his cricket.
First delivery. Just a trial run for Saurabh Netravalkar. 5 for 19. Crucially, though, one thing to note, this will be Netravalkar's last game before he leaves for international duty to compete in the T20 World Cup qualifiers. One of the most important players, important bowlers in this tournament. So a great highlight package done by Nate Hayes, Aman Patel, and the minor league network of his 5-wicket package. He's such a wicket taker. Looking for more to add to his tally today. And early on, look at that. That delivery right there. You can see Kateni Clark making an adjustment. Would have watched yesterday, of course, the Valley Strikers would have played before the Lashings. Now, Saurabh Netravalkar is a man at good length. The very first delivery of this game, Kateni Clark, watch the foot movement. Comes down the track, batting far outside his crease, trying to get closer to the pitch of the ball, make it into that full length that he can attack. So strong down the ground. I like the early adjustment from the Lashings. This is a good cricket team. What I've seen in these last 2 days, got a lot of potential to be much better than last year.
It's going to take some skill to get on top of Saurabh in the form that he's in. Just hitting those lengths, he's just extracting whatever little bit there is out of the pitch.
So, just 2 allowed outside the circle for Saurabh Netravalkar. A packed offside field. We saw him operate with a slip for a lot yesterday. Pranesh Suri standing at. He took a catch as well off Netravalkar. You can see he has the point, extra cover. Then that man at mid-on does get very straight. So he has that fine leg up in the circle for that attempted Yorker. One of the most consistent performers in all of cricket, really. Well, goes over a point this time. Kateni Clark, it's going to be the first runs for him. And even the man at third man has work to do. Won't be able to stop it. So runs coming for Clark. He's now crossed the 100-mark barrier in this minor league tournament.
Just needed one of those yesterday and would have had the 100. But yeah, he's looking. We saw him yesterday. He's an aggressive player. And there's a bit of width on offer. He's just put his hands at it. The benefit of just having the 2 outside.
Clark. It's really heartbreaking to see him run out on 99. Obviously, without the digital scoreboard, he wouldn't have actually known Zubin, which could be a good and bad thing for players, not to actually know the individual total, but had to put the team first, had to try to get back on strike in that last over. And I want to find out how crushed he was when he did find out he got to 99. One away from being the first centurion in this minor league championship. Funny enough, though, we've seen a lot of 90s scored. Munib Riyasat for the Hurricanes got to 95 yesterday. Raheem Cornwall this morning, 93. The closest on 99, of course. Unmuk Chan, 94. Nobody's able to get to that 3 figures. What's been the problem?
Well, in some cases, obviously, just running out of partners, maybe, or running out of the score. But Clark yesterday, I think, is the running between the wickets was a little slow.
And I think that if you're the Silicon Valley Strikers, you have to find that length. Yesterday, it's been a clear observation made throughout the 20 overs when they were even short of length to Katani Clark outside the off stump. He scored at a much less strike rate as opposed to when the ball was full, especially in the power play. And if you are Saurabh Chavalka and the Silicon Valley Strikers, you've got to bear that in mind, making another adjustment to the field, adding one into the leg side, sorry, the offside, because Katani Clark being the right-hander. Well, this is high in the air. A short delivery, he's pulled it. And the man running around, Kovinder Singh, the substitute on the field, he won't be able to get to it. And they come out for 3 as well, have to hurry, but in the end gets there. So we have seen Katani Clark, he does give you the opportunity to take his wicket. A couple of drop chances yesterday by the Grizzlies, allowed him to get to that 99. But that one, a very tough chance with the swirling winds.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever going to get there. But Katani Clark, he's just so strong. He's such a, you can see the way he sets up to hit. Just has a firm base, and anything that's fraction short, he's pulling on it.
Well, they tried to set up the plan there for that because Saurabh Chavalka went 5 deliveries full in the over, and then the final one was a short ball that they had the deep mid wicket in place, but unfortunately, luckily for Katani Clark, he didn't get it well, so he didn't carry to the man. This is the matchup I want to see, though. How do you bowl to Harpreet Singh, who scored 16 from 9? Played the shot of the day for me, an extra cover drive that was gorgeous to watch, but he's going to have to wait. Strike after that 3.
Yeah, both these guys got the Lashings off to a good start yesterday. They're not doing too bad. 7 off the first over.
Well, of course, the Lashings looking for their first win of this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. Our presenting sponsor, Sunoco. Wouldn't be possible without them or Dafa News Toyota in the background. You can see there. So fantastic to have these reputable brands on.
Huge wicket there. Katani Clark coming off a good performance yesterday, just couldn't get it going today. Good ball too. I think he just stuck in the wicket and had a little bit of pace into it.
And from the time he hit it, you just see him hunching over. He knew, didn't get any real timing on it. And Gary Graham, his gun feeder extra cover, not going to make a mistake. Well, after 99 yesterday, just gone for a run of ball 7 today. 7 for 1.
Dale Phillips coming in now. Gives him a bit of an opportunity to build an innings. Didn't quite get going yesterday.
Yeah, just 11 from 13 deliveries for Phillips yesterday. Watched a lot from the other end. Watched the Katani Clark. But I must credit the strikers, and it shows me that teams are taking this very seriously and they're doing their research. Yesterday, in the power play especially, how many bowlers went very full to Clark and were just hit back over their heads, back down the ground for boundaries and maximums. Today, didn't get one full delivery. Even though he tried to come down the track, the bowlers were equal to the task. They adjusted the length. This is very good cricket, and you expect this from arguably the best team in the tournament, the defending champions, the Silicon Valley Strikers.
Yeah, they've just been that consistent and that disciplined.
Mohamed Irfan Jr. is keeping Kovinder Singh out of the 11. Kovinder Singh on the field at the moment, but as a substitute. And to keep a man who took 13 wickets last year in just 9 matches, 3 in the final, shows you that he comes in with a huge reputation under his belt. Irfan Jr., man from Pakistan, been a huge addition to a winning team. Very tall, 22 first-class games, over 80 wickets. And even in 5 T20s, an extremely good average of 22. Professionally in Pakistan, has that PSL experience. Karachi Kings, Multan Sultans, he would have represented. Harpreet Singh gets off the mark finally. Interesting to see the amount of talent we've seen come from Pakistan. I mean, you look at the seamers alone. Ishan Adil for the Golden State Grizzlies, another man who comes in with tremendous experience, and then Irfan Jr. Both would have played a number of first-class games. Now we're coming to the U.S. to try and enhance their craft in this side of the world.
Yeah, definitely no shortage of talent in Pakistan, whether it's fast bowling or spin. There's a couple good leg spinners that are in and around the MiLC circuit.
Gonna have to rebowl that one. And here again, praising Mohammad Irfan Jr. Of course, he sends it down the leg side for a wide.
2 for 2 today.
Commentator's curse.
Nick. Yeah, but it's just a talent floating around the MiLC is such an impressive thing.
So Irfan Jr. He's probably about 6'5" and gets that bit of extra bounce. We saw him cause real problems yesterday. Very unorthodox action as well, much like a Sohail Tanvir. Just slapped past cover. Dale Phillips going to look to get a boundary here. It just slows up as it gets down to that cover region. Kulvinder Singh does some good work to keep it to just 2. Important for Dale Phillips, though. He also, like Irfan Jr., comes in with a big reputation playing at the first-class level in New Zealand. Look at this action, though, from Mohammad Irfan Jr. Zubin. Very unorthodox.
I can't imagine that being too easy to pick it, at least initially, especially if you haven't faced him. If you're coming from a different height, in the end, effective for him.
And when you think about the height you have to deal with, a bit of movement off the surface, especially with the new ball, and then the unorthodox action. Well, not a lot going for you as about an end of another good over for the strikers. They get a wicket, the one that they wanted. Clark is gone, 13 for 1.
Quick look at the Silicon Valley strikers lineup. Umar Chand does it again, 53. So having a quick look at the SoCal Lashings. Harpreet Singh not out, just 1 off the 1 ball. Katani Clark, the big wicket, gone for 7. Yeah, Dale Phillips, 4 off the 4, just a run of all 4. Long way to go still.
Zubin on his final legs with his voice. He's been so excited to see the cricket over the 2 days.
Definitely apologize to the fans out there. Listen to my prepubescent voice.
Cut him some slack though on the viewers at home. So brand new to this commentary thing. I think he's doing a fantastic job. Look at this stroke though from Dale Phillips. Didn't get underway yesterday, but he's underway today with a couple of boundaries. That will help his confidence into the vacant cow corner region. Almost took out the dog in the process.
Good shot there by Phillips. That'd be nice for him. First boundary. He's picked that one up nicely. Not easy to hit Sarab at that length.
And you always see it with players with such a solid base. Gives you that extra power through the hips. Roshan Primus is one that comes to mind. Dale Phillips, short but stocky and able to pick up off a length. Hit a boundary. We saw it yesterday where he was able to find the boundary a couple of times in that partnership with Katani Clark. So Najavalka's going to have to adjust. I mean, 5 wickets yesterday. That means nothing today. It's a fresh, brand new day in the hot, steaming temperatures here in Woodley Park, Los Angeles.
I'm going with effort ball here. The one he did well yesterday with it. Let's have a go.
So him get a couple of wickets with that short delivery, which was bang. As you said yesterday, Zubin, he actually maybe put on a couple of yards of pace because usually we know he's very gentle on a good length, but I saw him bowl some deliveries that really rose sharp with the bounce.
Yeah, it just looks like he's put a bit of shoulder. I mean, he had a decent amount of pace, but I think that effort ball that he can do, he looks leaner and a little bit stronger And I think that's helping him just to get the ball. That, you know, that small fixes can be the difference.
Phillips into the gap for a couple of runs. I look at Saurabh Netravalkar, who's just been so reliable over the years. You can see so simple in his approach to the crease. Not the fastest runner, but when he gets there, able to just be very composed in his delivery. We're very within himself as well. Fun and fundamentals, as my former coach in Barbados would say. Phillips forward much better after that initial 6. You can see the length has become a lot fuller to Dale Phillips. The brother of Glenn Phillips, for those that be very familiar with the man who's been so successful in the CPL, the IPL, and many other tournaments around the world, the Big Bash and others, has a similar build and look to his brother. Of course, would have been brought in along with Kateni Clark as one of the main players in terms of that overseas talent. 14 T20s, 181 runs. Strikes at over 130. Slower delivery. Oh, put that. It's gone over mid-off. And he holds the pose for Dafa News as well.
Yeah, he's just got the, seems to just have a good balance position. He has a fairly wide stance, so anything full, he's just be able to capitalize on that. Nicely played by him.
He went very straight. And even though Netravalkar was trying to be full, bring that slip in place, and have a bit of swing on the new ball, Phillips didn't really get a big stride in, but he knew as soon as he beats mid-off, it's going to be a boundary. So definitely looks the part today, Dale Phillips.
Yeah, I think I just feel that Netravalkar needs to just get back to that length that he had before yesterday and today. Just a bit back of a length, a bit more pace into it. That's it. Not a bad little spot there. That's the speed, though. A little bit too short, a little bit fractionally short, but just in that 6 meter length.
End of 3 overs, 26 for 1.
Just a quick look at the SoCal Lashings batting card. Dale Phillips just getting away there, 17 off his 10.
So Mohamed Arfan Jr. This will be more runs for Dale Phillips. Going to be down the ground. It was very straight. The toughest shot in the book to play, the on drive. And Arfan Jr., who's operated sort of short of length, getting a bit too full, searching. They need to take this wicket of Dale Phillips. He's a dangerous player. We saw what Kateni Clark's today. And Phillips off to the optimum start in terms of this run chase. Now races on to 17. Check that, make that 21 from just 11 deliveries.
He's looked good here, Dale Phillips.
Oh wow, short delivery, and he gets bat on it. Just gets enough on it to go over Unmuk Chan. This is good adjustment, good innovation from Dale Phillips.
Not a bad option there from Irfan, but Dale Phillips equal to the task and gets it over the slips.
Well, he went too full, was punished, went short, and Dale Phillips better. Easily places it over Unmuk Chan, and even with third man in place in this power play, couldn't get it. The positioning of it was so intricate. Meticulous player, Dale Phillips. Enjoyed watching him bat. That bat left very high like his brother, right before he's about to make impact. Yeah, better delivery though, much straighter. Good contest unfolding here. This is T20 cricket. It's all about matchups.
Yeah, the interesting thing to note is Harpreet Singh has only played the one ball off the one. He's been starved of the strike for so long, but no needed. 25 off 19 for Phillips.
Gonna have to rebowl that one. Turning out to be an expensive over so far for the Silicon Valley Strikers. Remember, yesterday we did see some worry set in that Katani Clark masterclass. They were 99 after the first 10 overs, well on their way to chase, but of course didn't get much help. Could have easily got a tickle on that though, Dale Phillips, through to the keeper. Has to be very careful.
Yeah, you would have thought after being at that position to chase down 180. Oh, just a miss.
And Reynolds.
What an effort there. What an effort.
Yeah, I say we saw 2 runouts in the first innings. Almost a catch there. Athletic fielding effort from the Silicon Valley Strikers. Mohamed Irfan Jr. setting up. Gary Graham is one of the best extra cover fielders in this tournament.
Would have backed him to take that one. Good
I like this
again.
though. It's been an expensive over from Irfan Jr., but he's adjusted really well these last couple of deliveries because of the extra bounce, making it increasingly difficult for Dale Phillips to score, not giving him the length that he's looking for. They've taken 9 off the over so far, still a delivery remaining, but it's a good adjustment these last 3 deliveries. Has to close out the over well, Irfan Jr. A wicket would just be perfect for the Strikers in this situation. They need Dale Phillips though. He's off to a cracking start. Again, off the inner half of the bat and just over the man at mid-wicket. He's going to have some work to do. 1 of 2 fielders in the deep. He comes back for another easy 2. End of the over, 37 for 1.
My son, he's so soft-spoken. Everyone says he's so good-looking, and he never forgets to call.
Hi, Mom. Born for your true self. The 2022 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At SoCal, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
We're back at Woodley Park in Los Angeles for the premium weekend in terms of this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by our sponsors, Sunoco, of course. Every weekend, so excited for this new undertaking where we're going to be traveling to provide this premium coverage, 8-camera setup, replays, and much more to different teams around the country. Everyone's going to get their equal experience and exposure. I think it's going to do tremendous things for the game, not only in the USA, but in the world. Roshan Primus is going to come into the attack. Wow, met with power. Harpreet Singh, finally, he's seen enough, and it's his turn to get in on the fun, all the way for a maximum.
It's quite impressive. That's only the second ball he's faced, actually. He's just picked that up. He's been starved. Good levers, nice and tall, stayed on it. He's put that 10 meters back.
.43 for 1. The Lashings, well, starting extremely well at this similar stage. After 4 overs, the Strikers were just 30 without loss. It does help when you know exactly what you're chasing. But that we can have this coverage. I'm just so excited. You can tell, you know, the passion within my voice, because just the opportunity to be able to be part of something like this, it wouldn't be possible without our sponsors like a Sunoco, like a Toyota, Dafa News, and all the others, Lakshmi House of Spices. But just to have this premium broadcast, you know, coming to you, those at home all around the world, so important. Down the leg side, you're going to have to re-bowl that one. But zoom in, just the undertaking that the minor league has put on in terms of being able to advance the tournament, where we just had one weekend of that coverage in North Carolina. Now to being every single weekend you get this type of coverage and you know, exposure and experience, truly would be fantastic for the growth of the game.
Yeah, what an amazing undertaking. I can't tell you all the work that's gone behind the scenes to just put something like this on. But in the end, we're trying to expose the game to the greater community, and offerings like this with this amount of technology and you know, the broadcast quality that we're trying to bring is a great way to communicate the sport to our wider audience.
I know some of the players, well, they were very happy messaging me last night. They said we make them look, you know, like international players at a World Cup. And that's the coverage that you're getting at the moment. They've done well, though, Primus, since the 6. He's just conceded 2 runs in 3 deliveries. Been much shorter in terms of his length. Harpreet Singh, well, he's only gone to 8, but he's a man that we saw yesterday with that 16. He can be extremely dangerous at the top of the order. The best thing about the Lashings is that since losing the wicket of Katani Clark, this partnership has developed really nicely for them. Partnership so critical, as we saw. Anytime wickets begin to fall, break that momentum. Good stop by Primus. 38 now, the partnership between these two.
And well bowled there, I think, by Primus. Just took a bit of pace off it. Just allowed him to not get full face of the bat on.
He's been used as a utility player, Roshan Primus, pretty much for the strikers team. Pace off there, good option. And Dale Phillips will scamper through for the quick one, but they won't mind that too much, the strikers. Still need to score 8.5 runs per over, so thus far I think they'll still be happy that they're in this game. The Lashings, both teams really, very hard to pick a winner from here. But we saw yesterday the Lashings, they were managing that required rate in and around 9 runs and over pretty much for the majority of the innings. But as soon as you start to lose wickets, pressure's on. They need help, need support, probably some better management of their batters. You can see some up and down bounce in the field, variable bounce as well. That one just going through the keeper. Umuk Chan makes a good stop to end the over. So after the 5th over, on. Well, Dale Phillips, he holds the key. We saw the importance yesterday in all 4 of the innings. You look at the strikers, Umuk Chan with 94, Sami Aslam with 74, 79 correction, and then for the Lashings, Katani Clark got 99. Someone has got to put their hand up and bat through the innings, especially on what's not been the easiest of surfaces to get in. Srinivas Raghavan is going to come into the attack for the first time today in a crucial final over before the power play is finished.
Interesting move here, just a 1 over before the power play is ended. But Unmukt has been pretty spot on with his changes yesterday and today. Though we won't get to see his bowling prowess now that he's behind.
Interesting field for Raghavan, making those final adjustments, bringing that mid-point field on the circles, a packed offside field with the ball spinning away from the right-hander, sorry. You can see making it tough for Dale Phillips, who's so strong in the offside. He's got a point, extra cover. 5 fielders in the offside for Srinivas Raghavan. Cut, and good piece of effort, good piece of work on the circle to save a certain boundary. Dave Tadani, it was at point, diving across to his left.
Certainly need those type of efforts if they're going to try to keep this team.
Good diving effort, diving across to his left. Those are the type of things that make the difference for you. down to the boundary. So another good option for Raghaven. This is a good over thus far, turning out to be a very cheap one for the Silicon Valley Strikers. So Raghaven just 2 runs conceded in his first 3. Looking to get out of this power play. Josh Dascombe, the of this minor league, one of the main men behind the scenes. Of course, former cricketer from Australia as well. He knows a bit of thing about cricket. He's going to join me along in the commentary box. Very excited to hear from Josh soon. Srinivas Raghaven continuing. So just 1 delivery remaining in this 6th over. Josh, welcome.
Thank you, Nikhil. Great to be here.
Woodley Park, Los Angeles. Been a fantastic 2 days of cricket. Far from finished, of course. Another game coming to you later today. How have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's been a great weekend. 19 games started. 1 blockbuster this afternoon to finish out the weekend, and it's been a great opening round.
Harpreet Singh going over cover. I think he's got all of it. No, he hasn't. It's going to go a couple bounces into the boundary, but what was turning out to be such a cheap over for the Lashings. Again, through cover, very full delivery and able to pierce that gap. They maximize the power play well after 6, 53 for 1. So Josh, welcome in again. Of course, your role with the minor league, you know, it's one of the most influential members of making this all happen. Must be a very stressful role for you.
It's all in a day's work, Nikhil. We couldn't do it without the help of the 26 teams and a team of staff at Major League Cricket that bring this together. So a lot of moving parts, but it's great to be here, and it's great to see a successful opening weekend.
Well, of course, a successful opening weekend of the 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by our sponsor, Sunoco. Roshan Primus is going to come back into the attack. Pretty good first over from him after being hit for that initial 6. He then came back well just to concede 3 runs. Dale Phillips, how does he play? Oh, he's continuing to be aggressive. Even though the power play is now completed, it's gone all the way for 6 as well. Flat batted, giving Primus a taste of his own medicine.
These 2 Kiwis have been impressive this weekend, Nikhil, haven't they?
Your Tasmanian brothers.
Yeah, the brothers from just across the Tasman. No, of course, Katini Clark yesterday afternoon, as we'll have another look at this one, and Phillips just stands up and smacks that one over mid-off.
Goes wide again, Roshan Primus, and he's going to get some bat on it. He'll just be a single.
Had another go there, didn't he? Same spot. Looks like Primus might have just rolled his fingers over that one.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about Dale Phillips, Josh, is has such a strong base, much like his brother Glenn Phillips, who I would have seen a lot of at the CPL. And it allows anything on a good length or even short length for him to be able to pounce on. Harpreet Singh has been much quiet. Sorry, the much quieter of the 2, which is what you don't really expect given the way he batted yesterday. But the important thing, he's still at the crease, still fighting, looking to get this 176 for victory.
I mean, he's been an able partner here. He's only faced the 7 balls, been feeding the strike to Phillips.
A good adjustment from Primus. That last over, though, Josh, went for 27 runs. The Lashings bowling the spinner Akash Veer Singh could be very crucial in the grand scheme of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've gambled there early, trying to bring back their spearhead, Elmore Hutchinson, to pick up a few wickets, and they've just left themselves a little bit exposed there. And we saw them get away with it yesterday with the experienced. We've seen them get away with it yesterday with Abhimanyu Rajat, but today with the young off-spinner, not the same.
Oh, that's not good. Not good for the Silicon Valley Strikers. 5 free runs down the leg side. No fielder can stop that. The keeper, Unmuk Chan, had no chance. And Primus trying to go short, completely gets it wrong. Big result for the Lashings.
Yeah, and that one's going to hurt the skipper behind the stumps, and of course in place of Rahul Jariwala. And that one's run away for 5 bonus runs. So 65 for 1, the Lashings. Well, you have to say, in 2 days, they've chased
And they have really brought the attack. They haven't backed down by any means. First against the Golden State Grizzlies, a team that won the Western Conference in 2021, now against the defending champions. But of course, T20 cricket is a long game. This one far from over, just in the 7th over. Again, Harpreet Singh connects, but by Primus. May have been struck pretty powerfully.
That
Packs a
one's
punch.
got him on the boot, that one. We'll have another look at it here. Oh, well.
Good footwork. But as soon as he hit it, made connection with the boot, he immediately fell to the ground. That's going to hurt for a while. Roshan Primus seems to be okay. That adrenaline still kicking in.
Not the same island in the West Indies, Nikhil, but that one was a bit of Dwight York there.
Only a 45-minute flight away, you know, Trinidad and Tobago from Barbados. Go all the time.
Haven't been down to the West Indies yet. It's high up on the list.
Come on, Josh.
Places to visit.
Have to make the trip over to the Caribbean. Paradise. We'll have you in Barbados as well.
Maybe after the end of the minor league, Nikhil.
What do you think? Given the success that has already been, thanks to Toyota and Dafa News, I'm sure we can arrange something, Josh. Your hard work, you must be rewarded for this fantastic job you've done so far.
No, of course. 7 weekends to go after this. Then we reach the finals, the road to Morrisville.
Good line bowling to Glenn Phillips. He's going to come up for 2. Very quick between the wickets is Glenn Phillips, and he's sort of doing what Unmuk Chan did very early on, ensuring that even when they can't find the boundary, they're still able to keep that score ticking over. End of 7, 68 for 1. So clearly that left boot giving some trouble to Roshan Primus. Hits the ball very hard. Harpreet Singh saw 16 from 9 yesterday before he was dismissed, but you think he is very important, even though Dale Phillips has done the bulk of the scoring.
It's going to be interesting to see here. It looks like Primus might be heading off the field, and that's going to leave him a little bit exposed with their 6th bowler here.
I do have a couple of options. Pranay Suri has bowled overs here and there, but they've also got a sub already on the field. Here is
Have another look at it.
Yeah, the ball was very full and probably would have been a certain boundary had it not been the big right foot of Roshan Primus. But the impact causing him to fall straight to the ground. Hits it so hard, Harpreet Singh. Still on the field though. He's a strong man, Roshan Primus. Spin into the attack. Straight in the air. It's gone straight up. Man should take it. It's Primus. The ball follows him and he takes the catch quite easily. And the spin has worked the change into the attack for Unmuk Chan and the strikers.
Yeah, a big wicket there for the Silicon Valley Strikers. Just when you thought that there was a little partnership brewing there for the SoCal Lashings, Raghavan comes on and gets the crucial wicket of Harpreet Singh.
That left foot still giving him some problems, Primus, but the main thing is that he's held on to the catch. A 61-run partnership comes to an end. Singh has gone for another well-played 16. It's 68 for 2. Well, Srinivas Raghavan striking the left-arm spinner straight away into the attack.
As we see him swing across the line and against the spin there, and the simple catch held on by Roshan Primus there at short cover.
Well, Primus still down, was struck very powerfully by a ball in the last over by putting his body on the line for his team. Getting some of that magic spray, Josh. We see it so often in cricket. Somehow, some way, that spray comes out and people become brand new again.
Right you are there, Nikhil. As we see Skandar Rohit Sharma come to the crease now. young under-19 training group player from last year for the USA national team.
They're going to need more than a hit on the foot to send Primus off the field. He's a strong man and likes to be involved in the action. Took a while to announce Roshan Primus as their wildcard player, Josh, the Silicon Valley Strikers. I was kind of surprised given the fact that he was a main part, especially in the finals weekend, of them winning the tournament.
No, absolutely, and seems that they've taken their time and had a look around, but they couldn't, in the end, go past someone that was part of the winning formula last year, and it's good to have him back here. As you rightly mentioned, starred for them in the finals last year. A big partnership with Narsingh Deonarayan to close out that championship match.
Yeah, I spoke to Deonarayan earlier today. He's trying to recover from that knee injury. Could see him later on in this tournament.
Raghavan's in a promotion for Skandar Rohit Sharma from yesterday. He's going to be sent in here with a very clear instruction to give this strike to Dale Phillips, who's cruising at the moment.
And it was something that I think the Lashings can learn from yesterday. Katani Clark was at the other end, striking the ball, probably the best of all the batters we saw on display. But they just had struggled through the middle overs to get him back on strike. He just was starved for a lot of the overs, and I think they lost momentum because of it. So Skandar Rohit Sharma, I love that name, first of all. But secondly, he's going to have a job to do here, and it's just to keep Dale Phillips ticking and continue to build another partnership for the Lashings.
Good over here so far from Srinivas Raghavan. Just the one off it, plus the crucial wicket.
Chan has opted to go down a
On
couple of
this
times.
field there, that's going to hurt the bowler. It's bowled a beautiful point as that one gets through, and Phillips will keep the strike at the end of the over.
So that ends the, what is this, 8th over, 70 for 2.
1, 2, 3.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
We're back at Woodley Park in Los Angeles. It's going to be spin from both ends. Looks like Pranesh Suri is going to come into the attack, probably because of that discomfort we saw to Primus. Need to find a sixth option, but also, Josh, the fact that spin over the 2 days has been a bit challenging to score off of.
Yeah, the wicket here, it's definitely taken some spin over the past 2 days, and I'm surprised we haven't seen the fast bowlers go to their cutters more often, with the ball sticking in the wicket a bit. But Pranay, once again, a part of their championship winning team last year. Picked up a few key wickets in the final. They'll be looking to do the same and take the key wicket of Dale Phillips here.
There goes to the off spinner Unmuk Chan. Getting some bit of extra purchase. Interesting to see how Dale Phillips, though, plays this situation now. 2 spinners on, just lost the wicket. Pressure building. That asking rate going close up to 9 and over. Still manageable, of course.
Obviously, haven't seen much of Phillips yet.
Should just be 1. Josh, pretty impressive, though. The Lashings have gone out to get 2 players. They're going to come out for 2. Have to hurry. Skandar Rohit Sharma is quick between the wickets. They've gone to get 2 pretty much blockbuster players from New Zealand who, in 2 days, are both contributing for them early on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been impressive to see them come in and really do well straight away. Often when to the US, it'll take them a few games just to get acclimatized, get used to some new conditions. But yeah, so far these two have come in and made an impact straight away for this team, and also good to see that they've got 2 young players out of the first class system. These guys both below the age of 25. It's great to see them over here in the US, and hopefully they can make their mark on this tournament.
Just swept in front of square. Wants 2. I don't think they'll get it on this time. the international players on display this season has definitely gone up a notch. You look at the likes of Raheem Cornwall, who are already in the runs, second leading run scorer in this tournament so far with 129, 93 this morning. You know, Aaron Jones and his international experience. In this game alone, Saurabh Nachavalkar being very impressive. It's been a great influx of international talent, a lot of first-class experience, which I think has helped the overall quality of the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely, Nikhil. It's all the teams have gone out and tried to recruit the best overseas players they can, and that ultimately increases the quality of the tournament, but also helps lift the quality and the professionalism of the domestic players.
Yeah, you think about the experience of for Skander Rohit Sharma, come back for 2. Good running between the wickets. For him, a very young player coming through the system, to spend time at the crease with Dale Phillips, he'll learn so much in terms of batting situations. Ends the over, 77 for 2.
So we have a look here at the batting card, and you'd have to think that Dale Phillips is crucial to this run chase. He'll be looking to power them to the victory, much in the same way that Sunoco is powering this tournament, Nikhil.
Oh, Josh, you're learning from me. Great way to work it in there. You've been listening. But yes, to your point, I think Dale Phillips, you've seen in all of these totals, the 5 options used for the strikers. He can shuffle his options quite a bit. Raghavan will bowl his 3rd.
We haven't seen young Dev Tadani into the attack yet, so a couple of options up on Mukchan's sleeve.
Should just be an easy single. But yes, I think very important given how we've seen batters on this surface. One player has put their hand up and bat through the innings. We've seen it in all 5 of the innings so far at Woodley Park. Phillips has to be that man. He's already got the platform.
That's spot on there, Nikhil. Raghavan into his 3rd here. That one's paddled around the corner by Skander Rohit Sharma. No 45 in place. That one's going to run down, and they will just collect an easy 2 there.
Well, the game developing nicely here. Still a long way to go in terms of this run chase. It's less than 100 runs needed now, just 96 from 10. And you think of the way that the Lashings batted yesterday, you bat them with 8 wickets in hand to be able to chase this down. But it is a quality Silicon Valley strikers bowling lineup. And you look at the batting and you think star-studded names of Unmuk Chan and others. It's been the bowling that's actually won them a lot of games last season.
Really important for Skander Rohit. Just getting into his work here. He's 6 off 7 deliveries. It's really important to kill that he keeps giving Dale Phillips as much strike as he can.
Was in the air for just a split second off the leading edge, but carrying to extra cover. Srinivas Raghavan, the left-arm spinner, has been good shift put in. Of course, getting the crucial wicket of Singh in the last over that he bowled.
Just getting stuck a little bit here, Skander Rohit Sharma. 3 dot balls in a row here. Not a bad result, you'd have to think, if he picks up a single here.
It's down the track, but just be a single. So the pressure seeming to get to the Lashings. Got to keep it together though. Wickets in hand, so crucial going into the last 5. We saw even when they struggled towards the middle of the strikers, they were able to pile on the runs in the final over. Halfway stage, end of 10, 81 for 2.
So we have a look here at the comparison here, Nikhil. Pretty much smack bang, right even.
Yeah, the similar stage in the 10 over mark. The Silicon strikers were 86 for 1, and remember they had a big break in transmission in terms of the middle overs, where they lost 4 wickets for 34 runs between overs 12 and 17. The Lashings will bear that in mind. Got to keep the momentum going in their favor. Pranay Suri, the off spinner. Another good delivery. We have seen now 4 overs consecutively of spin. Clear plan by the captain, Un Mok Chan, who's behind the stumps today.
Yeah, we saw him with the ball in hand yesterday. Behind the stumps today with the injury to Rahul Jariwala. And as we spoke about last over, 4 of the last 5 balls have been dots here, and there's another one to Skandar Rohit Sharma, so he's just getting stuck here a little bit. Only 1 off his last 6 deliveries faced, and he needs to get Dale Phillips back on strike here, Nikhil.
Down the track, big swing from Rohit Sharma, and it goes straight to the man. We just felt something would give, Josh, and it has. It's gone the way of the strikers.
Yeah, and that's that pressure. Only scored 1 off his previous 6 deliveries. Runs down the track, and he can't do anything but hit it to Mohammad Arfan Jr. back down at deep backward square leg.
So Rohit Sharma, miserable 7 comes to an end. 81 now for 3.
So the new batsman coming to the crease, Shamsher Singh.
But we saw a similar problem for the Lashings. Shamsher Singh comes in. He's a man that has been in the runs for the Lashings previously. 188 runs in just 8 innings last season. But this same problem occurred yesterday where they had someone at the crease, very competent, well unable to build another partnership and give him the support. It's why that Harpreet Singh wicket that went down in the 8th over was so important, because they had built a 61-run platform. All of a sudden now a couple quick wickets, and that asking rate has gone up to 10 and over.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Shamsher Singh comes in and plays here. Likes to attack, likes to hit the ball.
They need that Toyota Tundra power, Josh. Someone needs to take some pressure off of Dale Phillips.
Spot on there, Nikhil. A big roll here.
So just hit down to cover. You'll be off the mark straight away. Shamsher Singh underway.
Pranay Suri into his 2nd over work here.
Well, has he got bad on it? The finger goes straight up. And this is what happens in T20 cricket. Momentum shift. 1 brings 2, and Suri strikes twice in the over.
A huge breakthrough there, and you'd have to think that that might be the end of the chase here for the SoCal Lashings. But a big wicket there for Pranay Suri. Comes on and has a knack of taking big wickets, and we'll have another look here.
It was a thick edge and a good catch by, of course, part-time keeper. Doing a job today, Un Mok Chan. This man, whatever he does in cricket, it's been so successful.
He's had the golden hand this weekend. A masterstroke captaincy move there as we see Phillips depart.
He's gone for 45. 82 now for 4. Trouble brewing. Now going to be a big ask for this middle order of the SoCal Lashings. Still, of course, have the power of Elmore Hutchinson, who we saw hit a 1 maximum and be dismissed. Too much for him to do yesterday. But you think from here, Josh, to win a game with still 94 runs needed, especially after losing your veteran in Phillips, you're under some pressure and in some trouble.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen Elmore Hutchinson come to the crease here in a kill with 2 spinners operating. We saw him yesterday come in and hit his first ball off the leg spinner Zia Shazad for 6. And we would love to have seen Elmore Hutchinson come out here and see if he can't just switch the momentum of this game with a few big hits.
And Josh, it was actually something similar that happened in the 15th over. Sorry, check that. In the 13th over, when Un Mok Chan was dismissed, Roshan Primus came to the crease. 2 of your powerful players. So it could have come to the crease. Ends the over though. 2 in the over. Big one for the Silicon Valley Strikers. Just 1 run and 2 wickets, 82 for 4.
Look at the batting card. How much has that changed since last over there, Nikhil? We had a look at it last over, and very different complexion of this game now after that last over from Suri.
And in a run chase, when you have to go at 9 runs and over, just about. Couples inexpensive overs means that the asking rate now closer to 10.5. It's bowled well so far, these 5. Prince Suri the standout though with 2 wickets in that last over.
These spinners have really dried things up after a big power play for the SoCal Lashings, and we'll see Raghavan finish off his spell here. 1 for 13 off his 3 so far.
I think they really miss out due to the injury of Rahul Jariwala, because yesterday Unmuk Chan, first time bowling in T20 cricket at the professional level, bowled actually really tidy spell and got a wicket. Miss out on having that 3rd spin option.
That one well fielded there, covered by Gary Graham. And those are the little things here, Nikhil, when you've got the pressure on, keeping the pressure on. And that's what we've seen here with that fielding effort there. And the momentum of this game really shifted. There's nearly some very there from Graham in the covers. Can't stop the single that time around though.
Also speaks to the fact of how important Narsin Dionorain is to the Silicon Valley Strikers. A man that can come in, finish games for you in the middle, but also bowl off spin. A very handy bit of off spin as well. Much quicker delivery from Prince Suri, but Gary Graham, gun fielder, extra cover.
Is that one pushed out into the covers again? Very tidy spell here from Raghavan. Just the 2 deliveries left. Only gone for 14 so far as that one's cut away to backward point. Can't beat Dev Tadani there.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Tadani into the attack. He's a man that can bowl those cutters into the surface. We saw a couple of overs from him yesterday. Do see, Josh, a lot of purchase though off the surface.
As that one's going to scoot by Unmuk Chan there. Some sloppy work there in the field, and they'll pick up another single.
Well, that ends the 12th over, 83 for 4.
Have a look at it here, and that one just getting by. Nevertheless, a good spell there from Srinivas Raghavan. Just a 15 off his 4 overs. You'd have to think that's been a crucial spell in the context of this game to kill.
So it's going to be more spin into the attack. They do have the option of Shehan Jayasuriya. Doesn't really bowl very often for the Valley Strikers, but with the injury to Jariwala, Unmuk Chan behind the stumps. So more off spin into the attack. Like the move though from Chan. Progressive captaincy. Seeing a clear difficulty to score against spin. Actually in the post-match presentation, he spoke about it as well, Unmuk Chan. Just how slow the surface was and the up and down nature, making it very tough to score off the spin.
We see another off spinner into the attack here, Shehan Jayasuriya. Of course, bowled a lot in his international career, Nikhil. Haven't seen as much of it here in the United States.
Into the onside, and it will be stopped by Primus at mid-wicket. Good piece of work at the boundary. See that right foot, of Primus, giving him some distress in the field. Still there though, batting for his team. He has 2 important overs to bowl still, Roshan Primus, if it does get down to that. Well, goes past Chan, beats everyone, and he'll be wide as well. Costly runs for the Silicon Valley Strikers.
It's what you see. A little bit of an. It's what you see a little bit when you've got a part-time keeper or a temporary replacement keeper. A few of those ones that just scoot away down the leg side. We'll have another look at it here. And yeah.
Can't fault much effect this weekend. Big swing and a miss. Remember, 94 yesterday, then 53 today. A wicket as well. He was the Toyota Tundra player of the match in the first game for the Silicon Valley Strikers. So reliable and such a big plus to have. Aerial, does he have enough? No, he doesn't. It'll just trickle to Primus at long on. From the sound off the bat, tricked me. Thought he got enough out of it, but didn't quite have the elevation on it to go over that man. Good bowling from Jayasuriya, though. They'll take this, the Strikers. Still one delivery remaining. Has to close the over well. Dot to end. Really good end for the Strikers. Well on top of things at this stage. End of 13 overs. 90 for 4.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
Not too bad.
End of the 13th over. 90 for 4.
Yep. And we're back here at Woodley Park in fabulous Los Angeles, California, Nikhil, and a place that if you told me a few years ago would be watching cricket from here, would have said that you're crazy. But it's great to be here. Great to be here on the opening weekend of minor league cricket as well, as we see the reintroduction of one of the stars of the minor league, Saurabh Netravalkar.
Yeah, Silicon Valley Strikers, though, it'll be a test of their depth, because after today's game, Netravalkar leaves on international duty, going to Namibia and Zimbabwe for those World Cup, T20 World Cup qualifiers. So it's a good test, and they do have a raring and ready to go Kulvinder Singh, who has been, he's on the field as a substitute fielder, but Josh, I can tell you, his ability to take the ball into the right-hander has been truly something magnificent to see at the end of last season, taking 3 wickets in the finals to help. But he'll be a big plus to have when Netravalkar is replaced. But you want to finish Saurabh Netravalkar on a good note. He got 5 wickets yesterday. You want to add some more to his tally today.
Yeah, spot on there, Nikhil. Sure to miss him, the Silicon Valley Strikers, but amazing knowing that you've got someone like Kulvinder Singh, who did so well in the back end of the tournament last year, to come in.
Favorites for you, Josh, in terms of repeating for this minor league? Very early, of course, but if you had to pick one and putting you on the spot.
Opening weekend, Nikhil, it's very difficult to give a prediction, I think. Be interesting to see how the Atlanta Fire cope without their 2 stars, Stephen Taylor and Aaron Jones. But at this stage, it's hard to go past the Silicon Valley Strikers from what we've seen so far.
No West Indies bias at all, Josh, but I'm telling you, Rakeem Cornwall, serious addition to this minor league championship.
Available for the full tournament as well, from what I've heard, Nikhil. So if that's right, he'll play a big, big role in this tournament for the Atlanta Fire, you'd think.
Well, of course, have to juggle that Caribbean Premier League commitment towards the end of August. All these things, love the factors and test of teams and their squad depth coming into play. The international players leaving, though, for the USA tour will be huge, because even after they return from, then take the trip, I believe, to Scotland, and they'll be back for that final week or final 2 weeks of the tournament, come back at the right time. But all these factors are so interesting and intriguing.
It's great. Creates a lot of opportunity. And as you mentioned, Nikhil, squad depth is important.
I think he's gone. I think he's gone. Direct hit at point. The umpire sends him. Really good piece of work again by the Strikers in the field. I believe it's Dave to...
With the direct hit, Nikhil. Beautiful piece of wicket. We'll have another look at it here. Played down. Picks up. 1.5 stumps to aim at. And he bullseye. He's gone via a long way there.
Wasn't even in the picture. And I think just took off running in the end.
Beautiful. As we see the end of Harman Sandir.
So the new man, Sandir, unable to make a big impact in his game of this tournament.
He's got to go for 4, Nikhil.
91 for 5 now.
As we see the new batsman, Elmore Hutchinson. Nikhil, he's a powerful striker at that. We've seen him get the USA national team out of trouble a number of years. And we'll see if he can do it for the SoCal Lashings today.
Well, I've seen him get them out of trouble, but I've never seen him perform miracles. That's what they're going to need. 85 now needed from 40, more than 2 runs a ball. But he does have the power. That's the one thing for certain. I think one thing the Lashings will take away from this weekend, regardless of how this game goes, is that middle order. They have, I like the fact that they've got the top 3 of Harpreet Singh, Clark, as well as Dale Phillips. But you want to have that support structure, and they need to bring in some reinforcements after this first weekend.
Spot on there, Nikhil. I think what we've seen so far is 2 standout performances from Katini Clark yesterday and Dale Phillips today, but not much support from the other end at this. It's important if you're going to be chasing totals in excess of 160. There's still some legs left to run in this one. 6.5 overs to go. Elmore Hutchinson going to need a few big blows here.
Gets off the mark straight away. Hutchinson wants to as well. Good running in the end, putting pressure on Srinivas Raghhavan.
Not known for his touch game, Elmore Hutchinson.
Well, runs are runs at this stage. Need them, regardless of how they come. Of course.
So we have a look at him here. Just bunts that one into the leg side and gets it into the gap. And able to scamper back for 2. Well run there. Of course, a battle of the former USA national team teammates here. 2 of the nicer guys you'll come across in the USA cricket ecosystem, Nikhil.
Yeah, 2 very good friends as well. And Josh, earlier you mentioned the Atlanta Fire, them as well as the Manhattan Yorkers, the only 2 teams in that Atlantic Conference to be able to pick up 2 wins, go 2 from 2. One in Group A and the other in Group B. So they're setting side of things.
I think the Eastern... that one. We see him roll his fingers over that one. It's really broken. Puff of dust comes up there. We'll have a wide there. We'll need to re-bowl it. We'll have another look at this one here, Nikhil.
He went for the cutter. Elmore Hutchinson advancing down the track. He's not going to want to touch that one, though. Happy to get an extra ball.
The third game of the weekend here. And starting to see the pitch deteriorate a little bit here, Nikhil.
Yeah, another, you can see every time the ball is pitching there, it tells you about how dry conditions are. It also makes the toss for the next game very crucial. Coming to you, of course, at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time.
A warm day, warm 2 days out here at Woodley Park in Los Angeles, California, Nikhil.
A couple of explosions off the surface. Javalka does hit the deck. Actually, pretty gentle on the surface, if we're being honest, but does have the ability to put in those extra effort. Some deliveries. Causing problems so far for Elmore Hutchinson. You were saying about the Eastern Conference, Josh. Atlantic Conference, the eastern side of things, as we end the over. End of 14. 94 for 5.
We have a look here at the batting card after 14 overs. Kill 94 for 5, and as you mentioned before, don't like the word miracle, but I think it's going to mean a miracle from here as we see Muhammad Irfan Jr. back into the attack now.
Well, first look at the San Diego Surf Riders later today. Of course, that game coming to you at 2:30. The Golden State Grizzlies, so that'll be a tough challenge for them. Team that's already picked up a win. New team, new outlook for the Surf Riders.
Of course, they'll be missing their captain and USA national team star Marty Kane today. He's had to leave already for Zimbabwe. Both teams equally impacted. Vatsal Vaghela also not available today.
Irfan Jr. comes back into the attack. Just 17 runs conceded in his 2. No ball signal. We saw this a big problem for the likes of Isan Adil and others. I think it could be because of that rough running area for the bowlers. They have struggled with that front foot. It's going to be a free hit for Elmore Hutchinson. Be licking his lips at this opportunity.
Absolutely. It's the kind of discipline from bowlers that you just want to see them do the basics right. We'll have another look here. That one. Yep, over the front line there. So he'll have to bowl a free hit to one of the more powerful men in USA cricket here, Elmore Hutchinson.
Well, gets away with it. Irfan Jr. Big let off for him. I think this game's slowly slipping away as that asking rate goes past 13 runs and over. Now from the Lashings. Another really good start for them in a run chase, but unable those partnerships that we saw the strikers do. And what I like about the Silicon Valley strikers innings, remember, Josh, they were really struggling through the middle. After 18 overs, they were only 143 for 6. Somehow, some way, they got up to 175, and that's because they took the game as deep as possible with some wickets in hand.
A few lusty blows from Irfan himself, who's got the ball in hand now. A few lusty blows from him in the last over. Really changed the complexion of this one.
It was 3 sixes from him. Good Yorker as well, and digs it out well. He's a powerful player with those long levers down the ground. He's showing it, the timing. That was pure timing from the powerful Hutchinson.
There's that power that I referred to a couple balls ago, Nikhil. He's managed to snap his wrist through that one. It's beaten the fielder down at long on for a boundary. We'll have another look at it here. Nice and full in the block hole, but he's just beaten the long on fielder to his left there. For the key wicket in the power play of Katini Clark. He'll be looking to get himself another here.
And with that boundary, they crossed the 100 mark. Short and hit. It's almost taken by Unmuk Chan, running in from behind the stumps. I much prefer Irfan Jr. operating on that sort of good length, even shorter because of the height, is how he got Katini Clark out. Anytime he's been full, it's been too easy for batters to use the pace.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we're seeing here is the experience of these two seamers, Surab Netravalko and Mohammad Irfan Jr. just starting to roll their fingers over him, bowl him into the wicket a little bit. They've identified that this wicket's really dried out in this Californian heat, Nikhil.
This has gone a mile up in the air, but he hasn't got the connection, and it's taken by Shehan Jayasuriya. Easy catch for him at long off, and Elmore Hutchinson, the short cameo comes to an end.
Few couple powerful blows there, but that one out of the back of the hand from Irfan Jr. deceives. So we'll have another look at it here. Out of the back of the hand, into the wicket. We've seen that the wicket's starting to slow down. Can do nothing but get that one on the toe, and Shehan Jayasuriya completes a simple catch at long off.
So Hutchinson walking back for just 6. And now they're really struggling here, the SoCal Lashings, after a good start. 100 for the loss of 6 wickets. Well, the mountain to climb now for this 76 remaining runs for victory. Josh, also important though that teams consider that this is a long season. You are playing the defending champions. It'll be important that they still get up to a respectable total so that that net run rate doesn't take too much of a hit.
Absolutely. I think from what we've seen over this past few days, is that this Western Division of the Pacific Conference is going to be a tight one. So what you don't want to do early in the season is let that net run rate slip too far down, knowing that 14 games, a long season ahead, Nikhil.
Yeah, only 4 victories for the SoCal Lashings last year, but I think already in these first 2 games, even if they end up not picking up a win from opening weekend, they definitely have shown drastic improvement.
Yeah, that's spot on. So he goes full and fast there at the stumps, and they'll bunt that one into the leg side and scamper back to a big boundary out there to that deep mid-wicket pocket there, Nikhil.
Govinda Singh will be very important very soon for the Silicon Valley strikers. We keep mentioning him because of his ability with the new ball really impressed. I think that's the reason why the strikers had to bring him back on as a substitute fielder in this one so far. Think about the daunting task for batters, opposition batters. They come back. No, they won't come back for 2. It'll just be 1. It really is daunting proposition when you have the loss of one of your best bowlers in Saurabh Netravalkar as we end the over, to then be replaced by Kulvinder Singh, who's been a real difficult challenge for batters, especially closing the tournament. End of the 15th over, 5 remain, 103 for 6.
We'll have a look here at the worm, and after 9 overs, we were delicately poised here, Nikhil, but what we've seen is a couple of wickets fall there, and that worm's starting to drop down. Well beneath that of the Silicon Valley strikers, notwithstanding that big spike. We spoke about it a couple of times so far, that big final over there that saw them get to 175.
Roshan Primus is going to come back into the attack for the Silicon. Bowled well. I think he's been much improved with the ball in hand today. And as you say that, he's conceded 24 runs in his 2 overs. But I think what he's tried to do, the intent has been a lot better. Just hasn't gone his way. A couple of edges have gone for 4.
I think we'll be surprised if we don't see a lot of his cutters here again, Nikhil. It's adapted to the conditions beautifully here.
So Sanchit Sandhu comes to the crease for the Lashings. There goes pace off straight away. Well predicted, Josh. You know your stuff, you know. You're not a stranger to the game of cricket.
Thought you were about to say I'm not just a pretty face there, Nikhil.
Thought we would have seen you on the field for this season. What's happened there, Josh? Talk to us. We wanted to see that left arm spin. Seen you get some wickets maybe a year ago.
Someone put you up to that, Nikhil, have they? Got a few calls like that recently.
Pace off again. He's connected with this one out the middle of the bat. And it goes over the man at mid-wicket. Primus has been intent, but unfortunately the execution for him, not at the same standard. A big 6 for the Lashings.
Gonna need a few more of them, Nikhil. A few more of them required at this stage, but Shamsir Singh, their wild card this round. And he's up to the task. That one, saw it, he nearly beat him there, but he was good enough just to get enough bat on that one to get it over the boundary rope there. To add 6 to the total.
But this one goes straight up. He flat bats this down the ground, mid-off up in the circle. And it means that he will, I'm sure, Singh.
Strong arm there from Irfan Jr. at long off. He's rifled that one back into Unmuk Chand.
Chand has been pretty handy behind the stumps, though, you have to say. A good catch to dismiss Dale Phillips. Jariwala usually the option, but a finger injury means that he hasn't been able to take the field. So Roshan Primus already under the pump, conceding that huge maximum to Singh. Big swing and a miss from Sandhu, who's just come to the crease. Josh, what impact would this have, though, seeing the surface imploding at times? We've seen puffs of dust sort of pop up in intervals. And then on this surface, we have another game coming at 2:30 p.m. So makes that toss very critical.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Both teams are here catching the second innings of this game, so it'll be great to be fascinating to see.
Well, appeal, but no real chance of a wicket there. Definitely too high. Just be a single, probably a leg by.
We'll have another look at this one here. It's gone pace on that time, and that one, yes. No, that one's going over the top of the leg stump there and a kill. Good decision by the umpire. And he's dug that one in, rolled his fingers over that one.
He's very good at that, Roshan Primus, in terms of hitting the deck. Very hard, powerful bowler off his shoulders, and you can see a bit of extra bounce. Shamsher Singh signaling. They're in trouble though, the Lashings, if they want to get up to this 176 of victory. It's going to take something seriously special. Just chasing a wide one. Singh, a good end to the over by the strikers. 111 for 6 after 16.
Batsman, bowler change. Coming right arm over.
Well, the 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. What a fantastic initiative it's been in year one. This year can only be better, of course. Wouldn't be possible without our presenting sponsor, Sunoco. And for the Silicon Valley Strikers, who are well on top and heading for their second win, a lot of spices coming their way. I don't know what food they ate last night, Josh, but it clearly worked. 2-2. It's very looking like they're going to go unbeaten from this opening weekend. And Lakshmi, the House of Spices, providing some fantastic food. We need to get some of that.
Spot on the kill.
Zubin told me about some garam masala. Sounds tasty for maybe some dinner. Can you arrange that, Josh? You're a powerful man. Tadani into the attack. And wow, out the ground. Statement piece for Dev Tadani. First delivery into the attack. The middle stump uprooted.
Beautifully bowled there. Very accurate bowler, Dev Tadani. And on this occasion, he's going, you miss, I hit. So we'll have another look at it here. Big swipe across the line from the batsman. Smack bang middle stump. The zing bails light up there.
I think he did went cutter in terms of that first delivery and completely played it way too early. Sandhu, he's gone for one. And real concern for the Lashings, 111 for 7. Well, the captain, Abhimanyu Rajat, comes to the middle. And very brave Rajat. Walking up to the middle, Josh.
So we see the captain come to the crease, Abhimanyu Rajat. Few lusty blows down the order last year, and he'll be looking to get some respectability into this score. Of course, 111 for 7 now.
So Tadani already into the attack. They've gone for Tadani over the likes of Govinder Singh for the first 2 games. It tells you that they back his ability a lot, especially this ability to take pace off the ball at the death. A plethora of bowling options, though, for the Silicon Valley Strikers, showing their depth, which is going to be needed as this tournament progresses.
Spot on there, Nikhil. Got 7 or 8 bowling options in this lineup, and in some respects that can make it harder as a captain. But I thought Unmuk Chan swapped his bowlers around beautifully, so but can often be underwhelming as the skipper when you've got this many options, knowing which one to go to, but he's rotated them beautifully, and that's the reason that they're right on top here.
Well, a good piece of bowling from Tadani. Tadani striking in his very first delivery of his spell. Pace off, just cannoned in to the middle stump. Good option by Chan again to bring his seamer back into the attack. May want to just develop the confidence of Dev Tadani, Josh. A couple of games now where he's bowled with the game pretty much done and dusted, but if he gets some wickets like he's done here, it boosts his confidence.
No, spot on.
So, Tadani. Looking for that second wicket. Well, again, miscued just over his head. Wanted to take that return catch. I want to focus on Unmuk Chan, though, Josh. And I'll give the viewers at home a special exclusive. Yesterday at the post-match presentation, you told Unmuk Chan you want 1,000 runs from him this season after scoring 500 here. He's already at 147 after 2, the leading run scorer in this tournament. Well, he's on track. Josh, he's very much on track. It's across his stumps.
Big, deep in the crease. Deep in the crease and across his stumps there. Can't get a hold of that one. That brings us to the end.
End of 17 overs, 115 for 7. Well, it's been a pretty up and down batting display. Dale Phillips, the lone standout yet again for this Lashings. We saw 99 from Clark yesterday. And pretty much all wrapped up with 61 needed from 3. Going to be very hard. Have to score 20 runs and over. So Abhimanyu Rajip. Josh, very interesting yesterday from this Lashings team. We saw Tariq, who was in the 11 yesterday, actually tactically retired out to give Elmore Hutchinson an opportunity to try and chase down the runs. That was a good, interesting start to the tournament.
Oh, Nikhil, I can't begin to describe how big a fan I am of that.
Really?
I think it's the evolution.
Controversy brewing in the commentary box, Josh Daskell.
I think it's where T20 cricket's heading. As he picks up another one, Netravalka.
Saurabh Netravalka strikes again in the wickets. 5 yesterday, and now he's got his first. Just another good catch from Unmuk Chan. Acrobatic stuff behind the stumps.
As we'll have another look at it here.
Coming around the wicket, Netravalka angling the ball into the right-hander and just looking to hit everything as he should at this stage. Good catch by Unmuk Chan coming off the ground. So Netravalka picks up his 6th wicket in the tournament. And, well, always going to be tough to win the game from here. Singh gone for 16, now 115 for 8.
As we have a look at the new batsman here, Guyan Fernando to the crease. SoCal Lashings, 115 for 8 here.
Guyan Fernando was brilliant with the ball in hand. Picked up 2 wickets, but needs to be extraordinary with the bat if they're to get anywhere close to this 176. You were speaking about the rule, though. Not rule, Josh, but the decision by the Lashings to tactically retire a batter yesterday.
Yeah, we saw it in the IPL this year, and I think it's the evolution, the next evolution of cricket and the tactics associated with T20 cricket. The shortest form of the game, you need to be adaptable. And I love to see it yesterday, and I hope we see more of it throughout the course of the Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco.
Well, you heard it from your man, Josh, if he says that he's on board with it. We saw it not only in the IPL, but I also saw it in the Vitality Blast the other day with the Warwickshire Bears. Carlos Brathwaite retiring when the spinner came on. 2 batters actually in that innings retiring to let some others come in and face. Good tactical matchups. That's what T20 cricket is about. It could be the way the game is heading. We're seeing it changing drastically, Josh, the test format. Johnny Bairstow, 162 in less balls, 157 I think it was. Good shot, but should be protection in the deep at mid-wicket. Yeah, the game is changing drastically, all formats.
It's something that you see in baseball quite often. Of course, they have the luxury of having expanded lineups and not having it necessarily retired out, but it's something you see a lot more in baseball, Nikhil. A lot of emphasis on matchups against particular styles of pitching, and I think that's what we're starting to see in cricket. as I said, I think it's the next evolution of where this game's going tactically.
Well, angling that ball into the right-hander, like this approach from Nachavalka, especially in the death overs. You see him do it a lot. Comes around the wicket and just changes the tactic, attacks the stumps with this angle. Such a crafty bowler. I think for all those at home, you know how many look up to Saurabh Nachavalka, those young kids at home watching. This man is an exhibition, a masterclass of swing bowling and then good execution towards the death. Straight up in the air. Wants a second, Nachavalka. Will he have it? No, he won't. It's gone all the way for a maximum. So maybe a bit too little, too late, and it will be expensed his figures, Saurabh Nachavalka, but it ends with a maximum. End of 18 overs, 123 for 8.
Well, Nikhil, second day of the season here, and just like their compatriots in another sport, the Golden State Warriors firming up as championship favourites here.
Oh, Josh, not a good move. I'm a big Celtics fan. That loss took a long time for me to get over. A lot of depression in that series, but don't worry, we'll be back. Young core and liking our chances.
Interesting experience being in San Francisco when a championship team comes to town, Nikhil, and I was lucky enough to have that experience recently. Of course, I was referring to the Silicon Valley Strikers last year.
Dadani back into the attack. Of course, what was the parade like for the Strikers? I'm sure a lot of spices involved from Lakshmi. They weren't on board then, but may have, you know, been an early sponsorship from them.
No. Spot on there, Nikhil. No, of course, some big celebrations last year in the town of Morrisville. A lot of confetti. We'll be back there again.
This one smacked through the cow corner region, and a misfield at the boundary. No, it's not a misfield. Kulvinder Singh does well to keep it to just a single. The way Rajat hit it, though, he thought he got a 4, but he didn't. Did the thousands come out in the masses to celebrate the Strikers?
Next up.
Would be great to look at those championship rings on the Strikers. Josh, you have to arrange that for us.
No, spot on there, Nikhil. It's an interesting tradition in US sport.
Another big hit, another big swing and a miss. This has been a good spell from Dev Tadani at this stage. Batter's really going after him, even though he's bowling to the low order. Just 5 runs conceded. Good bowling. I've been impressed with what I see from Dev Tadani. This is another wicket for him, his second in this spell. And Gian Fernando, well, looking to hit everything into the stands. Another edge and another easy catch for Unmuk Chan, who's done it all in these 2 games for the Strikers. Just wide outside the off stump, a good plan, and big nick going straight to the keeper. Another wicket falls. Fernando going for just 7 at the end of the 19th over. 124 for 9. So 8 deliveries remain in this innings. Pretty much done and dusted this one. It'll be a big win for the Strikers as well, as Akash Veer Singh walks to the middle. He's ready to take on the challenge of Dev Tadani. 2 young players. And again, operating outside the off stump. Still 1 delivery remaining. Zubin Sakari, how's that voice doing?
I don't know how much has changed in the last little while, but definitely feel a little bit better.
You don't sound it, but that's great to know.
Got a large coffee here. Gonna struggle through between the Dayquil and the NyQuil.
I think some garam masala from our friends at Lakshmi might do you the trick. You know, Zubin ends the 19th over, 124 for 9. Mohamed Irfan Jr. with his seam back into the attack. The captain Rajip still there, but just 1 wicket away, 1 over away from taking this game. The strikers. Just be a single. Zubin, what's impressed you the most about the strikers' reply after posting 175?
Yeah, just their discipline in the field. You know, they haven't really got to get, other than on the batting of Phillips, they haven't really been able to get any more than that.
Having so much fun listening to Zubin. He's struggling, but trying his utmost best.
Yeah, apologies to the fans out there.
Good bowling from Irfan. You want desperately to take another wicket. He was a tad expensive yesterday, but it's been a much improved bowling performance from him. So his team now looking to go 2-2. The Silicon Valley Strikers. It was a rocky start for them to this tournament last year. They came into their prime, played their best brand of cricket towards the end, which of course won them the final. So for them to start in this manner will be a huge step in the right direction. They look to repeat. That's been pummeled, has been pummeled, and will go all the way for 6. Getting some exercise. Umpire Vijay Malela went full. Every time Irfan Jr. has erred on the wrong side in terms of full length, he's been dispatched.
Yeah, I think he just needs to keep that back of a length. He's got that action. If he gets it full, it's a little bit easier. He just needs to pull the lengths back.
Well, there it is. The final wicket falls, and the Silicon Valley Strikers take their 2nd win of this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. Mohamed Irfan Jr., he'll feel very good about this performance. 3 wickets for him. The cherry on top for the Strikers, winning this one by some 49 runs. 43 runs, correction, and just went straight at the stumps and got the wicket. So a big win for the Strikers. Getting their first or 2nd victory in this tournament. And they had great performances from, especially up top with Irfan Jr. Nacho Volker was good at the top, even the wicket with Pranay Suri. The spinners really brought this game back. Took the wicket of Dale Phillips, struck twice in the 11th over. Pranay Suri taking the wickets of Rohit Sharma, Skandar Rohit Sharma that is, and of course Dale Phillips. So you can see there, they'll have to go back to the drawing boards. The Lashings, been a couple of good performances from them, but just not enough to get them over the line. No win in this minor league will be easy, but I think I've seen a lot from them that I think you can take away from these performances. I look at the batting for the Lashings, just no real help from others than Dale Phillips, who got 45 and led the charge early on. Harpreet Singh was good again at the top, but unable to really kick on. Shamsher Singh through the middle, one of the top scorers for the Lashings, only getting up to 132, is worrying for this team who struggled with the bat in hand last season. And then for the bowling, well, Mohamed Irfan Jr., the standout. 3 wickets for 34 runs from him. But it will do a lot of confidence to Dev Tadani, being able to take the 2 wickets for just 5 runs after 2 overs. And what it means is that the Strikers go 2-2 in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Championship. They were good with the bat in hand, lost the way in the middle, recovered well. Unmuk Chan again setting the stage, but in reply, the bowlers, while doing their part, Suri 2, Thadani 2, Irfan Jr. 3, winning by some 43 runs. Well, let's have a look at some highlights from that 2nd innings where the Strikers were under some pressure early on, but were able to manage of Dale Phillips. Sarna Shavalka was good at the top, met with some power from Kateni Clark early, but they were able to strike and get that wicket of Kateni Clark. Irfan Jr. forcing Clark to come down the track in terms of the length, just stuck in the track, and that was a huge wicket. Dale Phillips, anything on a length, he was able to use that solid base and find not only the boundary, but find maximums in that innings, but just didn't get enough help from the rest of his teammates. And you can see Sarvna Chavalkar just holding his own, using his experience. Dale Phillips again went. That was a gorgeous shot to beat mid-off in the circle. And he continued to build a partnership, a 61-run partnership between Phillips and Harpreet Singh. But as soon as Singh was dismissed, things just took a tumble in terms of the wickets. Roshan Primus was expensive today. Again, met with brute force from Harpreet Singh into the onside. But they have small things, small highlights that they can take away from this performance of SoCal Lashings. Again, on a good length and, well, using those long levers, strong levers, I should say. Dale Phillips, brilliant for his 45. First real considerable performance for him, substantial in terms of for the Lashings, but they need that batting lineup, need others in the middle order to fire. And Roshan Primus again down the leg side. That was 5 wides, really hurt, painful in terms of the overall run chase. Harpreet Singh didn't get any execution on that one. Easy catch to Primus, who had bowled a good over leading in to the spin, but it was really the spinners that brought them back into this game. Pranay Suri took 2, and Srinivas Raghavan supported him well from the other end. Unmuk Chan behind the stumps did a really good job to take a couple of catches. 3 for Chan in a part-time role behind the stumps today. And then a run-out direct hit from Dev Tadani. Excellent work. The strikers continue to pay such a big price in terms of their fielding. Clearly a point of emphasis in this tournament, in last year's tournament as well, why they're the defending champions. So definitely the strikers, well, they deserve to be 2 up. Irfan Jr. very full to Elmore Hutchinson. Anytime he was full today, he was punished, but every time he went sort of short of length with those changes of pace, he was able to get his man. Went straight up, didn't get any elevation. Shayan Jayasura took an easy catch at long off, and when Elmore Hutchinson went, you just felt any small chance that they had to win this game, that would be the end for the SoCal Lashings. The second time in 2 days where they've been in with a good chance chasing a big total, but just lost their way through the end. Roshan Primus again went the distance, and Shamshir Singh, a couple of big blows from him. Primus will have to go back to the drawing board. He's an important member of the team. Dev Tadani was brought in by the captain when the game was pretty much done and dusted, and got 2 wickets, which will boost his confidence. Went straight at the stumps. The second one, a good catch from Chan, again behind the stumps in a part-time role. And Gian Fernando, well, he was just to go 1 up, probably over the top. Last wicket, finally, for Mohammad Irfan Jr., his 3rd, and a statement piece for the Silicon Valley Strikers. And speaking of the Strikers, I've got the captain alongside me. Today's Toyota Tundra player of the match as well with 53. Unmuk, you're making this look like light work.
Well, it's been going well. And happy to contribute with the bat. I think the way the team is playing has been exceptional in all the 3 departments. Again, I think we were spot on, and really looking forward to taking the same momentum into the next week as well.
Tell me about this innings today in terms of your personal approach. Yesterday we saw it very tough for you to start. Today looked a lot easier. How did the surface play, and how did you adapt your plans?
Well, the wicket was behaving a little better today in the first half. So I think the plan was the same to make sure that we have a good power play, and then once me and Ash had a great stand, the first inning stand, first wicket stand. So, and then from there on we could capitalize on. I think we lost some wickets in the middle overs, but I mean the way Irfan also finished was very nice. We were very happy to have 175 on board.
You mentioned Arsh Butch. I want to ask you about him. A lot of people have asked, you and Rahul Jariwala had a fruitful opening partnership throughout the tournament. This year you've gone for Arsh Butch in the first 2 games. What has the change of role been for a young player like Jariwala, who's actually made his international debut as well?
Well, the good thing about our team is that we have got people who can float around, and we want everyone to take multiple roles, and that's what defines a good all-round team, and that's what we are doing. Rahul had a great season last year, but Ash also is a good opener. He played last 2-3 games in the previous edition as well, and he got some runs as well. So I mean the roles will keep changing. It's a long tournament, but I think it's good that everyone is sort of contributing, which is a good sign.
Final question, Unmuk. You're already past the 100-run mark. What's the goal this season? Can you beat your tally from last year over 600 runs?
Well, I would like to take it one game at a time. Sometimes, it's good to be ambitious, but at the same time, I want us to win again. I want the team to sort of gel together, and I think if we can do all those things well, runs will automatically come in. I always look at intensity, and once the intensity is there, then post runs also come in. But I don't think about that. I just want to win games for the teams. That's it.
Fantastic. Today's Toyota Tundra Player of the Match, and of course the winning captain, Unmuk Chan. Unmuk, congrats and all the best for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Well, there you have it, the winning captain and today's player of the match. Yet again, 94 yesterday, 53 today at the top of the order. And he was so brilliant for his team. The strikers posting 175, and in reply, being able to restrict and, well, keep the Lashings to just 132, winning by 43 runs. But don't go too far, because at 2:30 p.m. Pacific time, we'll have the start of season for the Surf Riders up against the Grizzlies, who picked up their first win yesterday on day one of this Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. Look forward to seeing you there. We've had a fantastic day of cricket in terms of day number 2, but we're far from finished. Look forward to seeing you in a couple minutes' time for the start of match number 2.
You're watching the Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, presented by Sunoco.